At this time, I'm going to ask you to fasten your seatbelts. Good evening, my fellow retail traders. I am your humble host, Bear Tamer, and I am live and direct, but there is no stream today. Today is Juneteenth. The market was closed, guys. Let me tell you, bored out of my mind. As you know, for those that day trade for a living or just trade stocks enough, we hate when a weekday is taken away from us from trading. And then on top of that, extends the weekend. So it's just going to be a really long time since we get to trade the charts. However, during off-stream times, guys, I'm constantly looking for big plays and things like that. So I am currently looking for potential rocket plays. And I figured, rather than just do that all alone down here, why not go live, join the community, see what you guys have going on, answer some questions, share feedback with you guys, also take feedback from you guys, all that good stuff. So again, thank you for your support, guys. The channel has been performing phenomenally, guys. The community is growing at an accelerated rate. We are now at 15,000 subscribers on YouTube. So honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys. I know it's not easy to trust trading platforms. There's a lot of scams out there, a lot of people, doing the wrong things. But I think I've proven through a year of hosting live trading sessions. I believe we now have over 400, maybe 500 live trading sessions now, going all the way back to April 2025. Okay, friendly reminder, the first 4 months of this platform was free, just giving everyone in the community an opportunity to, come and trade live, learn all the tips and tricks that I can offer and all that good stuff, guys. But now we are beyond that, although another update, usually I used to do free trade Mondays, but now Mondays is exclusively for our members. So, however, again, I'm a big believer in giving back to the community, guys. So you will still have a free trading day, basically meaning there will be a day where the stream is free for everyone to join in, whether you're a member or not, and that will be Friday. So it is now Free Trade Fridays. Also, let me do this too so I can keep up, put the chats on screen and all that good stuff. But again, guys, just really having a ball. So again, I'm going to be, I'll talk to the camera every now and then, but this is really just me looking for the next big play, right? If you guys know me very well, if you go to my YouTube channel, you will see I have a playlist labeled Potential Rockets. And those are all the plays that I have made our members aware of way early in advance before those stocks made huge moves. So basically that's what I'm doing tonight. And that's what I basically do during my downtime anyway, just really looking for the next big plays, putting together a list, investigating them, doing research. And that's what you guys are going to see me doing now. I will reveal one that I was going to release, but the company did something drastic, which kind of caused me to pump the brakes on there. But that one I will give for free. Typically, when I do these potential rocket videos, members get access to it 2 weeks in advance, and then I make it public for everyone else, right? So, and again, my members are my shareholders, so that's part of me keeping that shareholder value and making sure they get first dibs on everything, right? But I will discuss the one that I was going to release Sunday. But again, they just changed something dramatically. So I see we have 5 people in the room. I'll wait until there's 10 to reveal what this play is, guys. Had tremendous potential, but again, they did just do something recently. So matter of fact, I'll do one better than waiting for 5 additional people. Let's do this. Let's just give me 60 seconds, right? And then I'll go ahead and reveal that to you guys. And then I'll even go and walk you guys through the chart as well. Again, whoever's watching now, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. Welcome to Bear Tamer Trading. If you guys are traders, you know, what type of trader are you? Are you a day trader, swing trader, investor, or are you a hybrid? Do you do more than one? Let me see. What time is it? 9:59 p.m. I'll wait till 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then I'll just dive into that play because I want to start looking for some fresh ones. Again, if you guys aren't familiar with me, my name is Bear Tamer. I'm the founder of Bear Tamer Trading, where I host daily live trading sessions from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Okay, where I'm alerting plays, giving signals, education, identifying resistance, support levels, you know, letting the team know when something's on an uptrend, downtrend, you know, going through SEC filings, you know, looking at short metrics, you know, just really doing everything that I can to give my team the edge. If you go to my channel, you go to playlist, you'll see a ton of testimonials from our members, just from our peers, just, you know, finding success in the market. And, you know, for me, that makes it all worth it, you know? So again, if you're new to the channel, again, thank you for stopping by and taking the time. If you wouldn't mind hitting a like, tapping that subscribe button, because I do drop educational videos from time to time. Again, I will be dropping potential rocket videos, but again, members get it 2 weeks in advance and then they're made public. Or they're made public faster if the stock takes off before the 2 weeks is up. I'll make it public. But again, that does not mean every one of these potential rocket plays take off within 2 weeks or anything like that. Sometimes they may, I will say a good chunk of them, yes, they have been fast. Some, you know, one trading day, a week, 2 weeks, but then there are some that are 4 weeks. Some are 2 months, 3 months, give or take. So I always give the timeline that I like, which is 6 months for that stock to, you know, flourish. And, you know, what I recommend to all team members and even, you know, the public viewers as well is just at the very least, just add it to your watch list, right? It's not a signal to go buy it now. It's really, I want everyone to keep their eyes on it. You know, if it is something that aligns with your trading strategy and you love it, I always encourage everyone to double check my due diligence, right? I always want everyone to double check my work. And, you know, if it's something that you love and you want to shoot your shot right away, that is completely up to you. But I will say, if you guys do go on my YouTube channel, you go to playlist, you go to potential rocket videos, you'll see all those tickers. You'll see the date that the videos were uploaded, and you'll see, if you want, go to your chart and, you know, from that date, tell me what you see. Right. And you'll see the performance of those stocks. Again, some very shortly after, some, you know, within a month for, you know, a good chunk of them. So, but again, I like to give a 6-month window. Now, with all of that being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and reveal the one that I was going to release on Sunday. And that one was for ticker SNSE. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my chart. Now, depending on how you're watching this stream, if you're on YouTube shorts, it may be a little tighter for you to see the chart. If you are, because I'm running 2 streams simultaneously, right? So one is for the short videos and one is for the regular 16:9, you know, screen format. Hey, how's it going, Zahid? How are you? Good evening. So, what am I even on? So now, again, the ticker, now I'm going to say this, it was SNSE, right? But if you look that up right now, you notice there's nothing there, right? So that was the first thing that kind of threw me off, because I was like, I know that's the ticker. Okay. So they have changed their ticker to FTH. Okay. And if you're looking at my screen now, well, again, if you're on YouTube Short, you won't be able to see this because where my mouse is, I see that my screen is blocking, but that's okay. You don't need to worry about all of that. But the reason why SNE was a potential rocket play, and honestly, if I were to have released it on that specific day, it still made a tremendous move. All right, so I'm not referring to this one. This was back here in February of 2026, where it made a huge jump from the 8 range to 36. But we're going to fast forward here to the 14th, which is where I wanted to release the video. All right, so I had it done Sunday evening. I was going to release it for Monday, but they changed some things. So I'm going to go into my notes. I'm going to share those notes with you guys. I'm mad I clicked on news. That is not what I wanted to click on. Where's notes? Okay. Also, too, for confirmation on these notes that I have here, one thing that I love about Webull, because in this business, this trading business, you know, especially what I do, proof is everything, right? You know, I'm a strong believer in transparency. But I also like to have the evidence to back it up as well. So you can see here the save time, right? I can't hack Webull and do anything like that. You'll see here the date 6/14/2026. The time was 20:41, which was basically 8 p.m., 8:41 p.m. Okay, that was on the 14th. Okay, so I'll go ahead and share my notes with you guys on why this was a good mover, right? So again, I spent time reviewing the recent filings, short data, and chart setup. And, you know, this remains one of the more interesting squeeze candidates on my watch list. All right. I do have others as well, but we'll get to that later. So basically, I like to look at both sides, right? Like, how do the bears benefit from this and how do the bulls benefit? So the bears, what they're really looking at, right, what they're holding on to is the company recently filed an S3 amended filing to register up to 24.9 million shares tied to prior finance and acquisition related transactions. Shareholders approved an increase in authorized shares from 12.5 million to 300 million shares. Long-term dilution risk is real and should not be ignored, right? So I'm a bull, guys. I don't short any stocks, but just because I'm a bull doesn't mean I ignore, you know, warnings or anything like that, right? I always want to let the team know, like, hey, I love this play, but here's the pothole, right? Here's a potential risk right here, right? Again, full transparency. Now, the thing with this S3A amended is that it was not completed yet. So although the company had filed it, you could go to the SEC and you will see the filing there in big red ink on that document. It said it is not completed. It is not approved. You know, could change at any moment and all that good stuff. So although it was registered, it is not active. Okay. So for me as a bull, I'm like, I like that, right? Until we see that form effect be filed, or like a 424B, 453, you know, whatever it is, until I see those forms come out after that, then sure, it's active, but it was not active at that time. Okay. So at this time, again, on June 14th, the bulls estimated short interest was between 86 to 134%. So essentially, guys, a majority of the float, if not all of it, was shorted, right? According to different sources. But I like to go more on the 86% side of that. But essentially, guys, the float basically was shorted, all of it, for a good chunk of it, at least, right? Again, the shares were around 917,000 on the float, which it still is here. If you look on Webull, it says the float is 962,000. Okay, at the time that I looked, 100% of those short shares were being utilized. The cost to borrow had a range of 104% to 208%. Days to cover was 17.8 days, which we love, right? Because what that basically means is that the shorts are so trapped in there, it would essentially take 17.8 days for them to close out their entire position, right? All the short shares that are out. Okay. Which basically translates to multi-day runners. So if you guys are familiar with multi-day runners, that's what that is. When the days to cover are really high. Okay. I know some people get confused by that. They might see days to cover and see one and say, oh, the shorts only have 1 day to cover. No, that just means that they can cover everything in a single trading session in 1 day, right? So we want those days to cover or DTC to be extremely high. So that was something that really stood out to me. And that is based on the stock's average volume, right? So based on how many shares were shorted, they would basically need 17 days to cover all of them based on what the average volume was at this time, though, guys, on June 14th, right? So shares available to short at the time was only 5,000 shares, right? So not much ammunition there. The market cap was 17.4 million. I see now it's at 23.9 million. Okay. Reported float at the time, again, 962,000, which is still the same thing here. So that did not change yet. And I'm going to get to why I paused on releasing this. The key question is, can shorts get trapped before the registration process is fully complete? Right. So that's the angle that I was looking at. And typically, sometimes those filings can take weeks. Right. So if the company were to drop a super strong catalyst, guess what? That gives you all the ingredients for a potential squeeze. Now, so that's what really made it interesting. So despite all the dilution concerns being discussed, the stock held support. At that time, it reclaimed $13 and it finished up Friday up more than 20%. Okay. So again, this was on the 14th, which I believe was Sunday. So I'm referring to the 8th to the 12th. Okay. Okay, so essentially what I was watching was I wanted to see it hold key support levels. I wanted it to break and hold above the recent highs. I want to see the bar rates remain elevated, limited shorts available, right? I want to make sure that remains the same, and any updates regarding the registration process. Okay, so again, this is not a risk-free potential squeeze, right? They have that dilution overhang, but it's not completed yet as of June 14th. Okay, so now I'm going to pivot and we can go back to the chart here, right? Because as you can see here on the 14th, obviously that's a weekend, right? So the daily chart is just going to jump from the 12th, where again on the 12th, it ranged between 11 to 13. So that's what I was looking at. And on Monday, when it opened up, it had a low of 1376 and went as high as 1652. Okay. Tuesday on the 16th had a pullback back to that low 1343 range. So it's still holding that 13. And let me go ahead and draw a line here too, for those that are less experienced, so you can kind of see exactly what I'm looking at. So this line here, okay, came back down to this low. And then Wednesday had a big move all the way up to 19. And then Thursday, an even bigger move. Update, come on, what's wrong with this thing? Okay, oh, sorry. So on Wednesday, it had a move to 17. And then on Thursday, it had a big move to 1965, had a low of 1642, and it closed at 1782. So a beautiful uptrend continuation. So again, had I released the video, would I have been right? Sure. Now, when I say potential rocket, guys, typically I want massive moves, but this did make an incredible move from 13 to 19. That's a $6 move within 3-4 days, right? Now, the reason why I didn't release it is because the company changed their name to FTH, no biggie, but I'm going to share with you updated notes, which is important to mention, in my opinion. Okay. Where's my notes? Okay, there we are. Okay. So what changed, right? New name and ticker, new acquisition was completed, fresh corporate identity, clinical pipeline, capital available for growth, and potential momentum if volume returns, right? So you're like, Bear, what's the big deal? That's, it sounds good. However, guys, they also dropped recent news, mixed shelf offering, guys, $150 million ATM, which is a dilution risk, right? Okay, so they released that. I believe it was yesterday. Let me make sure. Let's go to that Webull News tab. Yep. So now, again, when we talk about this, again, going back to the older filing that I was referring to in terms of dilution, yeah, they didn't trigger that one. But here we go here where they enter into sales agreement for offering of up to 150 million. So now my question is, right now, this dropped again yesterday. My question is now, will that kill the momentum of the stock? We will have to wait and see. Now, I wish they did not do that because, again, for members and the team guys, as I said, I was going to drop a potential rocket video. It was going to be this one. The reason why I didn't do it is simply because of that $150 million ATM that they dropped. Okay, so doesn't mean they have to dump it all at once, guys, but it basically means that they can sell into strength. Okay, so this definitely made a high of that 1965. It closed here, so I definitely want to see, right? And today's Friday, guys. The market will not be available to us until Monday, right? But on the 22nd, yes, on the 22nd. Again, reminder, Mondays are no longer free. That day has been given to members. Fridays is the new free day for everyone to be able to come and join. If you're trying to join the live stream Monday through Thursday, you need a membership, either the standard premium BTT membership plan, or you can grab a 10K celebration pass. As recently, we just celebrated the channel hitting 10,000 subscribers. And again, I'm always looking to give back to the community because without you guys, we wouldn't have achieved such a milestone. So the entire week from June 8th to June 12th was free streams for everyone. However, the pass is still available. Just based on feedback that I got, some people needed some more time. So that pass is available, and it's going to be half off of the premium pass, the BTT membership. So it does give you a discount, but it isn't the same perks, right? You will have access to live trading streams until July 14th, midnight, okay? But all other perks that you see associated with the BTT membership stays with the BTT membership, okay? So that's potential rocket plays, that's weekend recaps, training sessions, just a bunch of stuff, guys. But again, if you were ever looking to, see what we're doing, what we have going on, of course, you can go and watch over 500 live trading sessions. You can double check anything that I've claimed to alerted profits, percentages and profits, team winning. You can go and review all of that there. I understand if, people are, not so trusting. There are a lot of scams out there. So this is why I take it a step above everyone else and I trade live. Right? You see my face, you see my trades, I'm with you, and all that good stuff. But yeah, so what I want to see this thing hold here is 1642. That was the low for Thursday. I just want to see if it can maintain that. Now that's an entire dollar away from where it is. It did close at 1782, but in after hours, it pulled back 40 cents to 1742. So I just want to see the momentum, if it can hold. If it does break, unfortunately, then I'll be looking for 1513. But if the play completely falls apart, it depends on how the market is really going to react to this dilution. I want to say not so bad, but it did give a high of $19 and it pulled back. So we'll see how that plays out throughout the week, but consider this a free potential rocket reveal. Okay, so we'll watch it to see how that goes down. Now, if it wasn't for that ATM, I would have released this thing like 2 days ago, give or take. Honestly, I should have released it 2 days ago. But that thing, I didn't like the ATM. It kind of messes around with what I was looking for. Now, can it still potentially get back up here to the 30s? Right now, again, 1742. Can it go back and reclaim these areas? Now, there is something interesting that I will share with you guys as well. Let me come back here. With this ticker, I want to say SNSE so bad, but that is no longer their ticker. It is FTH. Yes, FTH. Actually, let me see if they updated that across the systems. Let's see if that's okay. Yep. They did update it. Okay. So now here's the crazy thing, why this is still a watch and why I'm still going to call it a potential rocket is simply because, guys, the short interest is 130%, which sounds ridiculous, guys. That means the entire float is shorted. And on top of that, which would make 100% short interest, but it's 130%, right? Which sounds crazy to me. Days to cover is 17.44. So in my opinion, shorts are still trapped here. Again, the ATM could cause bulls to kind of pump the brakes. But I'm telling you, if that thing holds these prices and they continue a movement to the upside, it can get real crazy, especially if the company drops a really nice catalyst to really get the market going. Okay. Cost to borrow is 240%. So guys, these numbers that I'm reading out to you are still astronomically high, guys. That's short squeeze numbers. Okay. They're utilizing 100% of what's available to short. So again, guys, this play is super squeezable. However, I'm always going to give you, hey, they have that ATM open. So that is active dilution. Again, the company does not have to dump it all at one time. They can take their time and do it. And if I'm being quite honest, guys, with the price that they're at, the company wouldn't need to sell that many shares to make $150 million. To be honest, if they can sell 1 million shares at the current price of where it is, but again, that would mean they need volume. They need tons of volume. But in my honest opinion, it's really not that much, if I'm being honest. All right. So I still like it. As a squeeze. At the current price, all they would need to do is really sell 1 million shares. It's not that bad, right? Again, $150 million ATM. I said a million shares. I mean 10 million. Sorry. I'm like, my math seems weird. But if they were to, it wouldn't be 10 million. It'd be slightly underneath that at these current prices. But if it was at $15, they would just need to sell 10 million shares and they would be done with it. Now, if they drop amazing news and, this thing generates 200-300 million, volume during a trading session, then that's honestly, in my opinion, job is done. In my opinion, but will they do that? No, unless they drop such a crazy catalyst. Now, the other thing that I've been telling members as well about this play, or about the stock market in general, before the new pattern day trading rules changed, guys, I already told the team in advance 2 weeks before, maybe a week, where I was like, guys, it's about to be a bull rush on a lot of plays. You guys can go back and watch that weekly recap. You will see me saying it. The plays that ran hard on decent news and they had a nice run, but they were capped, right? Because once the shorts jump in, people start losing faith. Bulls in this generation aren't as brave as the bulls in the past. So they would be very quick to sell. And if it's to collect profits, that's always okay. But, if we're being honest, a lot of people are terrified of the market, right? So that's why a lot of people go, oh, I'm going to start shorting now. But I already told my team it's going to be a very different ball game now, because guess what? Traders no longer need $25,000 to have unlimited day trading, right? They can, and in fact, you don't even need $2,000. You can have unlimited day trades with $100, $200, $500, whatever that is. So a lot of, at least the feedback that I was getting is a lot of the new generation of traders, they didn't have that buying power. So if they were using cash accounts, their issue was they were running out of cash to trade with, right? And then if you had a margin account and you didn't have 25,000, you can only do 3-day trades every 5 trading days. So people were very limited. Now those limitations are gone. Everyone is going to jump on a margin account, and everyone is going to be able to buy, sell for profits, and then wait for that dip and start buying again. So again, there's only so many shares you can short in a stock. Yes, I'm aware of naked shorting and all of that, guys, but still, there is still a limit to it all. So plus, you're going to have a lot of new traders coming into the market now, knowing that that $25,000 gate is now torn down. It doesn't exist anymore. And think about it, guys. Every trader that has ever started trading, what was your number one instinct? It was not to short. You come in looking to buy something to watch the price rise. So that is going to be everyone's instinct. So as you guys have seen, since June 4th, if we want to be specific, since June 4th, and even a week prior to June 4th, if you notice, there were some plays that were just squeezing really hard, right? And in my opinion, that was the smart shorts closing out those positions, because they knew, right? The ones that are paying attention to the dynamics of the market, look at what happened from June 4th to today. Today is June 19th. How many mega squeezes have you guys seen? Every day there is something. Every single day. In fact, when I speak about, I'm going to go back to the free trading week, right? June 4th was like a Thursday. So Thursday, huge play. Friday, huge play. This platform, we hit 10,000 subscribers. Did the free week, guys. On Monday, INHD. It's still halted. I know that sucks, but that thing ran from $1 to $66, right? Dollar range to 66 plus. When's the last time you guys have seen something like that? That's going back to my era of trading. I've been trading for 10 years. Well, now 11, but you know, I haven't seen something like that consistently in a very long time. And it aligned with what my thesis was. Now I said, okay, you know, it's just Monday. Tuesday, it was PAVS, right? I'm giving you the tickers. Wednesday, it was DSY. Thursday, it was ELDH. Friday, it was CUPR, right? And this is from June 8th to June 12th. You can go and look at the charts. And we caught these plays on this platform early before the moves, guys. I don't claim any moves that have already ran 1,000%, a million volume is in there. We're finding these plays 10,000 volume, hasn't moved yet. It's about to start moving. And this is how this team, you know, is able to get these big percentages, these big gains, guys. Okay. So I'm not claiming anything because it's after the fact. We saw it coming before, but look how crazy they went, right? We move even into this week, guys. This week we had, well, I guess the biggest play I want to say was CAST, which was most recent on Thursday, guys. Pre-market was insane from 4 in the morning to maybe like 6, 7 a.m., guys. That thing peaked at $16, still gave some opportunities during the market hours. So again, guys, I have no issues with shorts. You know, I joke around and I say, when I get into a play, shorts get out of my way. But listen, both sides have to make money. I still call plays for shorts as well, because not everyone in the trading community is a bull, right? Our members, there's some people that short as well. So again, I'll still throw out opportunities for both sides. But at the end of the day, I have advised the shorts and, you know, that are members to just tread lightly. You know, when you think it's maxed out, it is not, guys. It is not. Okay. What's another one worth mentioning? STI 2 weeks ago, you saw what STI did. Ran all the way up to what, 38 day one. The very next day in pre-market ran up to $57 after a pullback to 19. So again, these plays, they're the plays that usually ran well, they're going to run even harder now. Right. And again, a lot of new traders are going to flood into this market. Okay. So, and you know, when we're rookies, what drives us? FOMO, hopium, for those that aren't disciplined yet. So they're just going to be buying blindly. They're not going to care that it's up 200, 300%, which is why you see the stocks making the moves that they're making now. So again, experienced traders will take advantage, right? Again, for this team, I can only speak for our team, but, I really practice and preach, no hesitation. When we see these opportunities, we jump in early. And by the time it's pushed up to double digits, we're up 200%, 100%, 80%. We get to kick our feet up on the desk, right? Because we're not hesitating. We're not watching the entire move develop. But again, I say all of this to say, going back to this play now, again, the potential rocket ticker was SNSE, but it is now FTH. And I'll go ahead and share all the information that I have on it here as well. So as you guys know, when I do my potential rocket videos, I like to put together a nice slide for everyone. Okay. And again, this was based on June 14th when I was looking at it. So I updated it. I had to update the ticker and everything like that. So I still like it. I still like it. I think it has potential, but I definitely want to see what it does on Monday. Will it hold? I want to see it hold above at least 1642, right? I don't care if it comes down to 1643, as long as it holds, okay? I'll continue to monitor it. I'll see what's going on. And if it holds nicely and momentum continues to come in, then by all means, again, this is not a signal to buy. I always urge everyone to double check my work. Okay. Always. I don't care what my accuracy is, guys. I honestly don't care. Yes, I can sit here like so many other service providers and talk about my accuracy all day long. My accuracy, guys, is probably 90%. On average, any given day. I can say that with confidence. I have over 500 live trading sessions to prove that. You can go and click on any date. Okay, on any day I've ever claimed to made money on something, you can find it, right? However, I don't care about any of that. I still want you to double check me, because I feel a lost art, a lost part of the game for a lot of the new generation of traders is no one wants to do research. Everyone just wants a quick 1 minute, 5 minute video just telling them what to buy, and those still exist, right? There's Discords out there, there's YouTube channels that do still do that. But I feel personally, and this is why, our team here is finding a lot of success, is yes, I'm bullish on this play, but I'm not going to leave out the potential danger. Right. So if you ever notice, if you have another channel that you guys follow, another source of information, if they're just reading nothing but positivity, to me, that's almost like a pumping your own trade. Right. And I'll tell you confidently if I'm in a stock or not. I have not bought FTH yet. OK, I was going to purchase it earlier in the week, but again, they made some changes, ticker name changes, things like that. I wanted to see how it reacted. But yesterday with that $150 million ATM, that is big time dilution. But if we can, get some big volume, it'll be able to absorb that damage. 10 million shares would have to be sold. But with the price at 17, I want to say about 8.5 million shares, or they can just dump it if they want to. But companies typically don't get that aggressive. So what I would look for from FTH is another catalyst drop of some sort. Keep an eye out on that as well, because if they drop a banger, guess what? That thing is going to start flying, guys, because again, shorts are trapped in this play. Okay, sorry, my fellow traders, shorts. Again, it's nothing personal, but I deliberately look for plays that you are trapped in. Okay, because I know what's going to happen. Okay, I know there's opportunities to make life-changing gains on this. So we'll see. It already showed us that it can make a move, a big jump to 30 from, I think last time it jumped from the $8 level to 35. Okay, so there's no reason why it cannot do it again. So that's my take on this potential rocket. Okay, so this one was free for everybody. Okay, free game. Okay, I'm giving this one away for free. Let's see how it performs. Please, again, guys, I can't stress this enough. Double check my work. Double check everything that I'm telling you. Double check everything you see on the screen here. Double check it. Okay. Now, with all of that being said, we're going to take this off and I'm going to go back. Well, I don't necessarily have to go back full screen, but again, guys, look into it. Okay. There are other potential rocket plays that have been released. I want to say some of them, in my opinion, still have potential to do better than what they've done so far. Some of them have already risen $4, $5, $6. Some have pulled back, but I think there's still some squeeze potential there. So again, if you're not familiar with the channel, please go to my channel, go to playlists. You'll see potential rockets. You can click on there, go through the list. All of it is public now. Okay, so I'm working on a new series of potential rockets, but obviously I have to comb through the markets and find them. But this was one of them. Okay, so this one is being released publicly. Just my way of saying thank you again. We are growing at an accelerated rate, and I appreciate the trust and support that you guys have been giving me, the faith that you're putting in this platform. So I'll continue to deliver, but consider this one the freebie. Okay. What else we have? So honestly, guys, right now, what I'm about to do is I'm about to comb through the market. All right. There's over 40,000 tickers, guys. So there's no magic trick to this. What I'm leveraging to find these plays as quickly as I do is just my experience. Again, I've been trading for a mighty long time. I've put in the time to, learn as many shortcuts and everything that I can. These are the things that I share with my members. I teach them everything that I know. So that way they don't have to go through the hardships I went through when it was my first year of trading. I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate. I got my butt kicked. Okay, so yes, it's been so long ago, but I don't forget the pain that I was in, the emotional state. So, definitely since then, obviously, has made sure that, I avoid any danger, I also feel that same sense of responsibility for my members. I refuse to let them walk into crazy plays, pump and dumps, whatever we can avoid. For us, it's about minimizing damage, because at the end of the day, guys, everyone takes losses. There's not a trader on this planet, okay, that can say I've never taken a loss. Can it be done? Sure. If you're scalping for like 5 cents, absolutely. If every play I got was for 5 cents, then I would be 100% accurate forever. But obviously, we're looking for more than that sometimes. And, we're willing to risk money. So, the name of the game is really just to minimize the damage, maximize the gains, right? So that way we can survive to fight another day. Okay. Again, thank you everyone for spending some time with me here. I'm just going to be looking for more plays. That's what I'm going to be doing here. That's why I have multiple laptops active. Just going through plays, looking at opportunities. And then I'll put a list together, do some research, and then I will be putting together a few potential rocket videos. Again, guys, full transparency, those videos will go to members first. They'll have access to it for 2 weeks before it is made public. And then after that, everyone else will be able to see it. You will have access to it. Again, I do have potential rocket plays on that playlist now. They have made decent moves, but I think there's more in some of them. Some of them have not moved yet. Okay, so some of the more recent ones. So again, let me see. Okay. So I'm just going through here to see if I have anything else. Okay, a lot of again, it's not a simple task to find these plays. Good evening, Lisa. First found you for the BTAI rocket. A big thank you. Of course, Lisa. And I truly appreciate you, saying that live. That means the world to me. I'm big on giving, people their flowers. So I do appreciate that. Thank you for my bouquet. I just want to see us thrive as a team, thrive as. And Lisa is a member, guys, because you'll notice that little symbol next to her name. If you're on YouTube live chat, guys, you'll notice bear claws. Those are members. So, no pressure on you guys. But if it's easy for me to promote the brand and say it's amazing. But, the people that are actually paying for the service, I would ask them. They're going to be your best reference outside of me. But again, it's easy for me to promote my thing. But, again, Lisa, I'm super happy for you. Hopefully you were able to take in some thousands on that, because I remember BTAI. And Lisa, I don't know if you remember, but I was on Weeble really hard posting all that. I was getting so much flack from the shorts. They hated my guts. They hated me for a solid 8 days in a row because the stock just kept on climbing. And I think where we went from 130s to $8.20 in that time span. Oh man, but they were killed. But the minute the run was over and the thing started, pulling back, and BTAI now I think it's back in the dollar range. Oh, they couldn't wait for that. They were like, "Oh, where's Bear at now?" I was like, "Bear's no longer here. We already secured our profits. We know when to walk away." It was on Weeble, yeah. And again, Lisa, Zahid, and whoever's in the chat, again, thank you for trusting me. I know there's a lot of frauds out there, but it's why I do what I do. It's why I post daily. Trust me, it's exhausting, guys, to post every day. I post less now because the focus is really the stream, right? It was my most efficient way of getting out that information, so to everybody. But because I'm so, community oriented, I didn't want to leave anyone out. So that's why, for example, with BTAI, I was posting so much, taking screenshots from SEC documents, any FUD that I saw a short posting, I would have to combat it with hey. And the reason why I was doing that, guys, is because I know as traders, when we're on social media, on Weeble, StockTwits, X, all we really care about is really telling everyone how great our stock is. If we're holding positions, hey, look at this thing. This thing has the potential, which is perfectly fine. But I kind of draw the line to where people start lying. And the reason why I say that, is because I feel as traders, we need to be a little bit more responsible with what we put online. I know I can't force anyone to, write whatever, but think about the less experienced trader that doesn't know any better, that is relying on those feeds to make decisions. And although I wouldn't recommend it, because not everyone, I'll speak for myself, but not everyone is going to give you due diligence the way that I do. Not everyone is going to, I don't know how many posts I made on BTAI, but it was probably over 100. I was trying my best to protect less experienced traders from making the wrong call, like shorting the thing, or, unfortunately, some probably shorted. And I saw a lot of people upset that they were losing money. I saw people not buy it at all because of fear, because people were saying, oh, they're going to do an offering, which they never did, by the way. So it's unfortunate because the less experienced traders are affected by that. And it's listen, I don't mind a short saying an offering is coming, but at least let it be true. I don't mind accurate data, but if it's just fake, that's where I feel like I need to, put the bat signal in the sky. That's where I show up, and then I try to save the day. I don't know, superhero complex, whatever you want to call it. But I think it's wrong for traders to do that. But again, I understand with trading, emotions are high. Even when I do try to help people, they accuse me of being shorts, they'll whatever. I get it. But those emotions will cost us dearly if we don't fix it. So, again, Thank you for your trust. I'll continue doing everything that I can to be worthy of your trust, and and we go from here. But again, this one is going to be a free potential rocket, simply because some things changed, and I was supposed to release this, but again, a lot of things changed. $150 million ATM, name change, different things going on, but it is still squeezy in my opinion. I just need to see it hold certain prices. As I mentioned, this is for now. Then it's no longer ticker SNSE. It is ticker FTH. Okay. And again, just to show you again, back in February, guys, this thing was at $8.79. And in the very next trading session opened up at $28 and went as high as 31. Okay. And then the next few days after that made a new high at 36. So this thing can move. Okay. It can definitely move. Yes, it has pulled back, but if you're looking at the daily chart right now, and again, for those, also too, for BTT members, I created a custom trading strategy just for you. Okay. We had some members, which I call my shareholders, make this request because they wanted to improve their trading even more. So I created it. It took me about like 4 hours. I plucked from different strategies that I have obtained over the years to create something super easy to understand. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and share the link on the, I'll go ahead and share the link on the live chat right now on both streams, whether you're watching this on the short video format or you're watching it on the regular. And again, if you guys are interested in memberships, please just ensure that you are using a web browser. So just youtube.com, Safari, Google Chrome, whether it's on your mobile, tablet, desktop, laptop. Yes, the YouTube app is the more convenient way to do it because it's right there on the app. However, the app stores will tack on additional fees, right? So the BTT membership is $49.99, but if you try to do it through the app, they tack on these additional fees that you'll have to pay every month. I don't know where the money goes. I don't know why they do it. So please go to youtube.com, look for my name, and you can do it that way. And then we also have the 10K celebration pass, which it only gives you access to the live trading stream until July 14th. But all other perks are through the other membership. Okay, but let me quickly go in here and I'll go ahead and post those links. If there are BTT members watching this and you just weren't aware, I'm going to go ahead and share that now. I'm going to just put that in the, so I'm posting that now, and I'm even going to replace the pinned message. So it's pinned there in case others join in. 1 second. I'm going to pin it here as well. All right. So I have replaced and pinned it. This is for BTT members, my shareholders. Again, 10K celebration pass. Thank you for your trust and support as well. But again, it is just a celebration pass. Gives you access to the live trading stream. So you'll have access just like BTT members. But again, the potential rockets, all these other things, it comes with that membership. Okay. Don't want to dilute the shareholders. Okay. But I have been receiving feedback from people with the 10K celebration pass. Great feedback, good things. So again, I'm always thinking of ways to really support the community, really help out. But again, I will not be diluting our BTT members. I just gave a whole week for free, guys. And it's not like when I'm doing it for free, I hold back information, I hold back plays. I don't. I give the same. I would, if it was private, I would, the same information. So again, this week, we've had a really great time. Last week, we crushed it. Again, INHD, we got it. PAVS, we got it. DSY, we got it. EDHL, we got it. CUPR, we got it. CAST, we got it. ELPW, we got it. AZI, we got it. STI, we got it, guys. When I say we got it, not because it was already running, it's on everyone's scanner. I'm talking about the sun is not even up yet. There's barely volume moving around the market. Okay. And again, you can always go back and watch the live streams on those specific days and you will see for yourself. So with all of that being said, guys, I'm just going to kind of hang out here. I'm going to leave the floor to you guys. If I see a question or a comment, I'll address it. But right now, this is sort of like my process where I'm looking for new potential rocket plays. But this free one will be FTH, okay, which was SNSE. And again, I will go back. Again, in this business, you have to be honest. It's all about transparency. You will see all my notes here dated for June 14th, 2026. Okay, the video was going to be released the very next day, but again, they started changing things around. Okay, so you can see that right here. That's not something I can fake. When I put my notes and I save them, Webull stamps the date. Okay, so consider this the potential rocket for free. That was given out publicly. This is random. This was not planned. I just decided to come on live since I was down here anyway. And I will be looking for the next batch of potential rocket plays for our members. Good evening, Crestline. MEI and BFLI might be worth looking into. They both popped up with my own searching, still holding on some BFLY from Thursday. So let's do this. How about I just pull it up live right now? Butterfly Network. Hello. Big move to the upside, huh? Congratulations there, Crestline. You said you're holding it from Thursday. So now everyone that knows me knows the very first thing I'm about to look for, right? Like, why? Why did this move the way that it moved? Right? I like to know why. Like, if I'm going to touch something, I need to know why it's moving the way that it's moving. I try my best to avoid pump and dumps. Unless I get in them early, then, sure. Let's see, find their latest news. Network climbs on Midjourney hype despite FDA reimbursement questions. Okay, so what's going on here? They provided updates on its Midjourney medical and Midjourney scanner tomographic imaging machine. Prototype incorporates 40 butterfly ultrasound on chip imaging modules per system. Okay, so what did the FDA say? Why did they say despite the FDA? On the 16th, they also dropped news. 16 million people, one underserved disease, the AI imaging push to close the congenital heart gap. Okay. I like, but I want to know what the FDA said. Like, what's the FDA? After it commented on Midjourney's announcement of Midjourney Medical and full body tomographic imaging system. Okay, so this is going to add a little twist here. It basically says, hold on, after it commented on Midjourney's scanner. Basically, Elon Musk replied to the announcement on X, calling it cool. And several unrelated X replies later dropped 100 when replying to a tweet about big dreams in the AI boom. Could that be the Elon Musk comment on something? Let's see. I also like to do this too. Like, let's say if I'm unaware of a play, I'll come in the chat, right? I like going to Weeble comments and see what's happening, see if I can get some more information. If not, I'm going to go and search for it myself. Bye. Good luck, bag holders. There's always that person. Like, geez, like be positive. Where is the pullback after the gap? Sometimes the people on Weeble, StockTwit sits a little bit better in terms of like the quality of comments. A lot of people on Weeble just like to troll. Could Elon use butterfly equipment in Starlink? Yeah, I knew it. I knew. I was like, I'm gonna find an Elon Musk comment. I knew it. So that's gonna play into it. But I really want to look into the technology and everything like that. Let me see. In an SEC filing, Butterfly disclosed that the agreement with Midjourney is expected to generate up to $74 million in payments over 5 years. Okay, so they're basically highlighting their role in the Midjourney medical scanner, but so it doesn't. Okay, the digital health company offers ultrasound imaging and sensing. But what are they doing? Are they merging with this company? Like, what's the partnership? Is this, if that company's not publicly traded, then yes, Butterfly would be the only way. Okay, the partnership operates through Butterfly Embedded Butterflies, ultrasound on-chip licensing, and co-development business. Okay, formerly known as Octave. Okay, there you go. See, a little bit of reading goes a long way. No, I like it. It's nice. I mean, now let me go a step further. You know what I'm about to do. I'm going to go and do a dilution check, see what's going on, SEC filings. Like I said, it's a missing art for a lot of traders. Sometimes they don't know why things are happening with their stock. They just, assume it's the market manipulating and doing all of these things. But I'm like, trust me, if you just take a quick peek on sec.gov, a lot of those answers are waiting for you. But like I said, new generation, they don't want to read all of that. Let's see. Insiders own 20.4%. Institutions own 49%. Shares available to short is 1.9 million. Cost to borrow 0.28%. Short interest is 12.9%. Excuse me. Seeing a few Form 424B5s. That was a year ago, though. So nothing super recent. They have an S8. Although it was a year ago, I'm still going to look at these 424s because one of them from what's their float? Now, I know this is a big company. Okay, yeah. So the market cap is 2.3 billion. Free float 206 million. So the reason why those numbers there are important, the market cap and that float, is because it's not going to move easy. Like, this thing will need significant volume to move. All right. I know we see this massive candle here, but it's a stretch from $7. Let me see, $7.10 to $8.94. Okay, that is a nice move. I'm not saying it's small, but it took 60.48 million to do that. If I show you cast on that pre-market move on that same amount of volume, pardon all the lines here, on the same amount of volume, I'm on the daily, excuse me. Ugh, get out of here. Okay, it jumped to $16. And matter of fact, it didn't take 60 million either. It probably, when I was looking at it in pre-market, the volume honestly was probably at like 20 by the time it got to 16 million, $16 per share in pre-market. And the reason of that is the difference. The float, look, 16 million. So it's going to be easier to push. There's less shares available. So the heavy demand is going to make this thing squeeze. The only, so that'll be the only difference. It's not to say that this can't make a big move, but it would, if it wanted to make the same kind of move, it's going to need significantly more volume than 60 million, probably like 600 million, if I had to guess. And if that's no one shorting. Now they do have 1.9 million shares available to short, but honestly, I don't think that's like anything to be terrified about. Again, this is a massive float. 2 million shares is nothing. Again, on Thursday, it generated 60 million shares. So I'm not going to be too concerned with that. But again, I will be honest and let you know that it's not going to be something that just explodes 10, 20 bucks. You see those tickers that are moving like that, their floats are very tiny. Okay. Now this is on a nice uptrend when you look at the daily. I mean, obviously on that news, they had a huge spark up. They actually created a gap from that the day before, highs of 614. This opened up at 721, had a low of 710. Doesn't necessarily mean the gap needs to fill right away, guys. It can take eons to fill, or it could do it in a week, or it can do it in a day. But it does not mean it needs to do it in a day. Okay. But I'm just making you guys aware that there is a gap. It is in overbought territories. Will it pull back? I don't know. After hours, it went up another 21 cents from close at 890. Now, the fact that this had a high of 894 and closed at 890 is really nice. It had a $3, it increased by $3.20. But I think that Elon, jumping in there definitely helped boost that. I assure you, if I go to StockTwits, I'm pretty sure if I pull up that same ticker, there's going to be someone referencing Elon, just like I found it there. But I think the technology is amazing, and it addresses something that clearly needs support. So I don't see why not. But again, I will acknowledge nice move. It is overbought. We want to see what happens here. Definitely want to see it hold this low in the sevens here. Okay, well, actually, 710. Sorry, guys, I have a thing where I want it to be exactly where it needs to be in terms of accuracy. Okay, 710. So I definitely want to see it on Monday hold up. Okay, if it breaks below that, then the next thing to watch would be, let's see, 614. Okay. What else do I have here? I do see a Form 4 from 10 days ago, 144, 11 days ago. Okay. So this is typically what I like to do. I go and look at everything. So when I'm in a trade, no one can talk me out of it. Like if I decide to buy something, like not for day trades, like a day trade, I just might be there for a good time, not a long time. But if it's something I'm swinging, I'm gonna look at every nook and cranny. I don't do hopium. I don't do FOMO. I gotta love the stock. I have to technology has to be great. People backing it has to be great. What's the finance? I didn't even look into their finances yet. But what I will tell you, it's not a squeeze play potential, right? Because again, not a huge short interest. Short interest again was 13% is not bad. That's over 20 million shares. Probably if I had to guess, 23 million, 24 million shares. The cost to borrow is 0.28%. So shorts aren't really feeling the burn on this one, right? Like, what I will say though, so the float 13% is shorted. Days to cover is 4.46 days. So based on the volume, it would take them 4 days to cover, 4.5 days, which is actually not bad. In my opinion, not bad. 25 million shares are shorted. Look at that. See? Now, now they did generate 60 million, but shorts aren't going to cover the entire 25 million, guys. Just like bulls, shorts will hold on to their positions as well. Some are stubborn, some have a game plan behind it where they can always average up, just like bulls can always average down, things of that nature. So, but there is 25 million shares shorted. Float is 206 million. So, not bad, but again, they're not feeling any pressure. Like the cost to borrow is not huge. So we'll see. It's definitely not going to be a squeeze play, but like I said, when Elon starts commenting on your stuff, it can drive people to look there, cause people to speculate. Same thing happened with TE the other day, where they went and commented under Elon's comments or something like that. And I don't know, something Elon was saying would be, oh, this would be cool to have. And then, and they responded like, well, we're working on it. So, people are going to speculate. And if you guys remember TE was something that we traded a few times, but, from that moment, again, I'll hide these lines. It just had a nice move to the upside to $9.92 the day after. So, and the day before it was as low as, where was this thing? At 826. So again, Elon, that's the Elon Musk touch. That's what I call it. But I do like their technology. TE too, they're also doing amazing things trying to draw energy from the sun. So, I mean, but we'll keep an eye on it. If I remember, if I don't remember Crestline, you can just remind me. But I like it. I like the technology. I like what they're doing. But what's despite the FDA? Like, that's what I want to know. What did the FDA say? Okay. Long-term opportunity. William Blair noted that Midjourney plans to expand access to its scanner technology by launching dedicated Midjourney spas targeting 5,000 locations with roughly 10 scanners. Okay, yada, 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 yada. Assuming about 40 chips per scanner, said the plan can represent a significant long-term opportunity for Butterfly. Yes, yes, yes. However, analyst Andrew Brackman highlighted several key uncertainties, including how Midjourney plans to secure FDA approval for a new imaging platform quickly enough to support the projected demand, and how it intends to obtain insurance reimbursements for scans, which he views as critical to realizing the large market opportunity being discussed. I guess what I would say for this one is just, I guess, monitor that data, that information for yourselves as well, guys. If anyone else is holding BFLY, is this a long term for you, Crestline, or is it just something in the moment? Of course, Zahid, I appreciate that. I truly do. I appreciate the flowers. Listen, I'm just trying to be, if I could be honest with you guys for a moment, I'm just trying to be that person I wish I had when I started, right? Like if I had, and it's not that services didn't exist, but like 11 years ago, guys, mentors wanted pay by the hour. If there were platforms like this, it was like $500-600 a month, or you had to buy like a really expensive course and then still have to pay separately for, like, I don't know what this would be considered, like a webinar or something like that. And I did try things. I did try. So I was, not only was I losing money trading in my first year, I was also paying for these services. So it just kind of made it worse. Not that I didn't understand it all, but it's like I felt like I was jumping around too much, trying to copy this person's strategy, that person's strategy. Like whenever I felt something wasn't working, I would just, jump from strategy to strategy, jump from service to service. And it was just like, I had to find myself. And, one thing that I really focus on this platform is the psychology of trading. I feel like that was probably one of the biggest key things because I'm going to be honest with you guys. Every human being has the potential to be one hell of a trader, right? But you can have all the strategies in the world. You can have all the capital to start in the world. But if you're not in control of your mind, you struggle with your emotions, you get emotionally attached to stocks, things of that nature. That is, in my opinion, the biggest kryptonite for a lot of traders, and not only that, also accountability. I see a lot of, no offense to the new generation, but there's a lot of complaining, a lot of finger pointing, a lot of blaming everyone else. But in reality, a lot of the losses that we take as retail traders, or that we have taken for those who have overcome the hump, it was our fault. I looked at my first year, I looked at 3,000 trades, which sounds insane, right? So that was already a red flag. Hey, you're taking too many trades. This is your first year. You have 3,000 trades. So that was the first red flag. And then going to each of those trades and owning up to like, hey, on half of these things, at some point you were up 20 to 80% and didn't collect because you were being greedy, waiting for more. And guess what? You ended up closing those trades red when you should have been securing green. And then the ones that you did secure green on, you were closing out too early because, and then they ended up taking off without me. And it's because I was so worried about the losses that I took in the past. They were so big that they crippled me with fear. So, just really going back and taking accountability for what we do as traders is key, guys. I'm telling you, you can have whatever you want. You can have Warren Buffett as your teacher, but if you're not in control of your mind, you panic in every little second. You're over leveraging on your trades, buying positions you can't handle emotionally. There's a lot of things that goes into it. And I have a game plan for all of that. And me and the members, we speak through it daily because it's something that you just have to be reminded of daily until it becomes second nature. Okay. Trading is not the place for ego or pride or anything like that. You got to be vulnerable. You have to admit when you have a problem. And unfortunately, I say the newer generation, they don't want to take accountability. And I don't mean like by age, like I'm just talking about new trader, less experienced trader. Even there's some experienced traders that still haven't learned that lesson yet as well. But, I think that's a huge key component into our success. And if I'm being honest, I think it's why I'm successful, right? All the strategies in the world, all my knowledge, my abilities to identify play. I don't need a scanner. I don't use squawks. Okay. I do provide those services when I'm off camera to keep the team engaged, keep the opportunities flowing. But when I'm on camera, I don't use squawks. I don't have a need for it. I'm very, I'm old school. I used to get my news from the newspaper, so I will read, understand keywords, look past headlines. Sometimes companies drop these big headlines and they get retail to chase it. Well, guess what? I'm looking past the headline. I'm actually reading the article, or I'm going to the SEC to confirm some things. And it's not that I won't take advantage of the movement. I will, but I won't stay for long. I'm like, ooh, they don't even see this dilution that's coming here. I gotta go, so I'm always transparent with my members. They'll know when I enter, they'll know when I leave. I'll tell them why I'm leaving. I'll tell them, be careful. You don't have to sell when I sell. I don't promote copy trading. I share that information more for educational purposes, but I know people are going to copy anyway. It is at your own risk, but at least understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. And, so again, a lot of opportunities. And I felt like a lot of platforms, they miss out on that. They have courses, they have scanners, they have, all of these things, but you know, they don't tell you the key thing: discipline, psychology, controlling your emotions. Those are very key things in my opinion. Um, of course, Larry, of course. I mean, I was going to be down here anyway, so I figured why not, just go live. Um, I'm just texting my lovely wife. She's hilarious. Um, what else? But yeah, so I'm just kind of looking through the market right now, just looking for the next big squeeze. But again, I already released a free one. KMB 57745. Nice, very very nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm not mad at that, man. I mean, leave a few shares, see how it cooks. I mean, I like the technology. I like what they're doing. I'll tell you this: if that, like I said, if that float was just 10% of what it was, I guarantee you it would have went much higher than $9. Um, but to me, honestly, that's when I look at what they're doing and how they're moving. That's a more longer term hold, and in my opinion, I think that's a longer term hold. And to the point with the FDA and everything, now if all of that works out, I would say, yeah, definitely keep tabs on them, because if they get all of that cooking, it's going to be a nice move to the upside. Now, also, I am looking for potential rocket plays, but when I find them, I'm not announcing them. They are for members only. I did announce one tonight just because I was supposed to release it anyway, but I said, you know what, give back to the community. And that's what I'm doing now. Again, that is ticker FTH. It was ticker SNSE. Okay, I was going to release it as SNSE. I canceled the release of the video, and I am revealing it here live. And I will go to social media. I will go to Webull and attach this link so people are aware. I will go to StockTwits and attach the link so people are aware. I will go to Discord, TikTok, Instagram, all the platforms, just to make the team aware as well. Let me see. And then let me see. What is this? Next comment. MEI seems. Oh yeah, you said MEI, right? You did say MEI. But look into FTH, my friend. I'm gonna see how that holds, but look, same process. I'm like, what is MEI? Why is it moving? That's the first thing. My instincts is always like, why? What do you guys got going on? They have a conference call scheduled in 6 days, and their earnings is in 5 days. Just so you know, for MEI, how to earn $500 a month from Method. Am I pronouncing that properly? Electronics stocks ahead of Q4 earnings. Method Electronics announces fourth quarter and full year 2026 results conference call. Their board approved a dividend on June 10th. What is it that you love about them? I see a 13G, May 15th. I mean, they have been higher. Where's this thing at now? 14. They were as high as 15.55 on this run. I would definitely look for a break here. Let me highlight that for our viewers. I would look for a break of 15.55. It went up $2.45. I mean, if I'm being honest, if this thing can get past, what was its high on 14.14? Yeah, I would. Yeah, this 15.55. If it breaks this, what I can tell you is there's no traders above this that's holding a bag, right? So the only resistance above this price would be bulls selling to collect profit, shorts trying to stop that momentum. So if it does get to 15.55, or I wouldn't say even 15.75, I would pay attention to that zone specifically, because what you're gonna have there is shorts trying to nerf that move. But if you can get past, especially 15.55, you get past that aggressively, could move to the upside. The question is where and how high. I know that's everyone's question, but also there's no way for us to tell. The only thing I can tell you, I like 34 million float, so definitely can move a little bit better than BFLY. Let me see. The only thing I will say with earnings, let's hope that's not a sell the news event. That's on June 24th. But I know they have their dividends. Quarterly dividend of 5 cents per share, 20 cents per year. Figure. We'll see. But definitely look for that 15.55. I want to say even 15.75. Look for that break. That's where you should see a ton of resistance. Let me quickly pull up. Let's see if they have a short squeeze potential. That's always nice. On the MEI. Let's see what they got cooking. Not really. Short interest 3.85%. Cost to borrow is 0.5%, 0.5. Only utilizing 3.77%. So it won't be a short squeeze burst. They do have 1.1 million shares available to short. Volume on that $2.45 move was 1.6 million. So clearly buyers all day, or potentially maybe shorts covered. Let me look. Yeah, you know what they did? Yeah, because at a certain point, what is this? June 19th, the 18th. Yeah, because there was 650,000 shares available, and it increased back to 1.1 million. So yeah, definitely some covering. If I had to guess, what is that? About 500,000. So that would leave about 1.1 million of just regular buy and sells, but clearly buyers were in charge there. But definitely shorts covered yesterday for sure. So yeah, just keep an eye out on it. For me, I'm gonna continue looking. I don't hold any MEI. I just noticed a bull flag forming. Yeah, did you see how my did you see how the Weeble chart highlighted that? Did you see it? Which one did I highlight? It literally look. Now I don't know if other brokers they do this, but I think for less experienced traders, stuff like this can be useful. When you highlight these circles here, they'll tell you certain things, show you certain patterns, explain it to you, give you the definition. See, I can click it and it'll tell me like on these specific days, doesn't mean follow it, right? If it was that easy, guys, everyone would be millionaires, but at least it'll help you understand, patterns, what you're looking at and stuff like that. But it was in this little wedge here, and then it just broke out of it. Bang. We'll X that out. What widget or setting on Weeble do you use that I'll see you use on your screen from time to time that shows holdings at various share prices? No, I got you. I got you, Lisa. The order flow. Is this what you're talking about? This? Yep. So tomorrow is our weekend recap. It's from 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to take it back again. This is where I really like, yes, we highlight, what happened in our week, top plays, worst plays. We share our experiences. But I'll quickly do like tutorials of certain things on Weeble. I mean, other brokers have nice tools as well. But on those other brokers, you also have to pay hefty pennies on certain things. So I think Weeble gives enough for being a free platform. Of course, you can pay on Weeble to get additional features, additional information, but I'll go through some of the things that I use on Weeble. But I mean, you guys see me really going through them on the streams, but I'll break them down even more. But hopefully that answered. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I was like, hopefully that's the one. If not, I was I was gonna struggle. I was gonna be like, uh-oh. Again, guys, ask your questions. Any trading questions you want. Doesn't really matter to me. But I'm in the process. I'm just looking for new potential rocket plays. Again, I'm giving you FTH for free. It was ticker SNSE. It is now ticker FTH. In my opinion, still huge squeeze potential. I like the reversal on the daily. I just want to make sure it can hold 1642 as they just announced a $150 million ATM. But from the 14th, when I announced it, I didn't release the public video, but I spoke about it. I see here, if I'm being honest, it still had a nice move again from that $13 range up to 19 over 5 days. Nope, hold on. 14, so over 1, 2, 3, 4 days. So potential to buy in the low 13, no, not low 13s. 1376 was the lowest, so maybe a $14 buy. Or the next day, it did come back down to 1343, so it did pull back from this move. It held 1349 like a boss. Continued to move here, made a break to the upside, did pull back to 1642. Closed at 1782 after hours, pulled back an additional 40 cents to 1742. So again, just want to see if it can hold this 1642 level. If not, the level below I would watch is 1349 as key support. Also want to see what 1513 does as well, but I like it. based on the data that I shared with you guys. Again, the older notes that I had from the 14th, and then what I put together earlier today as I was combing through it. Hey, Davis, how's it going? What do you think about the super trend indicator on Webull? I mean, if I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm Mr. Old School. I don't I don't use any of that stuff. I'm sure they're very I don't use it, so I don't definitely, I never pretend to know what I don't know. I've never used it, so I'm just Mr. Old School. Read my candlesticks, tweak the settings in my indicators to confirm what I'm seeing with my eyes on the candlestick patterns. Um, you know, and that's pretty much it. I know there's so many other things you can use, guys. There's the fib, there's pivot points, there's the super trend thing you mentioned. There's so many things, guys. So many different indicators tell you the same information. I can be honest with you. But I just kind of stick with what I have. I don't use the super trend, but I'm sure it's nice. But I've never used it, so I'm not going to speak from a place of oh yeah, I love it or I hate it. I've never used it, but have you used it? And if so, does it work well? I appreciate that, Frost Davis, and we look forward to having you. And again, besides the early alerts, the tons of opportunities we get, you guys get to see my handsome face, hear my beautiful voice. If you put all of that to the side, guys, honestly, a major perk is this community. I keep saying that. I think people think I'm being cheesy, but I've been a part of a lot of groups, guys. And it's very rare to see so many people come together, support each other, give each other advice, even alerting plays, guys, like even alerting plays outside, like, because I look for specific plays within specific windows. But if someone sees something outside of that, or there's something else cooking, if I'm like breaking down another play, team members will, they'll still look out in that way. So again, it's very rare to see that. And you guys know what I mean. Like if you go to Webull, you go to StockTwits, you see the negativity, you see how toxic it is. You see people making fun of people losing money and things like that. Like we don't do that on this platform. We do nothing but uplift each other, and we're honest with each other in a sense of, from a place of looking out, right? We don't want anyone to blow their accounts or anything like that. So I think you'll see that yourself once you're on the inside as well. So again, special flowers for the community, guys. And I'm not saying that because they're paying members. I'm being serious. Like if you guys if you joined a free trade, well, no longer free trade Mondays, guys, that is a high value day that I was giving away, just to let people kind of see what goes on within the platform. But it's going to go to members now, the shareholders, just to increase value for them. But it will be moved to Free Trade Fridays. It's much slower on Fridays, so I'll have more time to like dive into chat more and answer, comments and things like that, questions. Because it's slower, I'll have the time to actually break down one specific play for maybe 10 minutes versus, on a Monday, it's nonstop. You might have 10 alerts at once, that we have to go through. So the paw. Frosty funny. Oh my goodness. But yeah. Let's see. What else? Again, I'm just looking for potential rocket plays, guys, but I will not reveal what they are. I am giving a free one today, FTH. No one has to wait for that. In fact, I'll turn this into I'll put this in the potential rocket slot and put the ticker on there. So that way, and then I'll send out an alert to the team as well for those who might be sleeping. Where is this thing? Is it this one? Just kind of combing through. That's why I love multiple screens. I get to look at more tickers, more information, including my phone. Again, keep in mind, guys, I am running 2 live streams simultaneously, so you might notice you're on the shorts. The handsome face. You might notice that the screen is a little different for you. That's probably because you clicked on the shorts video. Feel free to click on the other live stream if you want the wider format. And you know what? While I am combing through, I'll do this. I will put up that graphic again for the potential rocket in case anyone missed it. So you can see the information that I have here. Again, most of this was pulled as of June 14th. I'll even do this too. Let me hide the comments to make sure you guys can see everything on there. So again, this is the latest potential rocket. But as always, guys, please keep in mind there is a ATM out. Let's see. Again, this is your time, guys. I'm going to be extremely silent now that I've shared the potential rocket. You know, if you guys have any questions, trading questions, throw it out there. I'll be more than happy to answer. You know, but I'm looking for plays. But again, this is the potential rocket. You can screenshot it if you want. You can read it on your downtime if you'd like. If you're on the wide screen, I'll take this off so you can at least see the bottom more clearly. Leave that up for 10 more seconds, and then I'll get back to my charts. All right. Turning comments back on. All right. I'll do this as well, so at least people stopping by. Put that on there so anyone new stopping by knows what's going on, because I am going to be a little quiet, guys, as I search for plays. To get the margin account, do you need to transfer all the stocks and funds from the cash account? No. You can put $100 in your margin account right now and have unlimited day trades. You just can't short. In order for you to short stocks, you need a minimum of 2,000 in your margin account. But other than that, you can just $500 unlimited day trader. So that was something that at first when this whole thing started coming out with the rules, it was like, oh, $2,000. So I thought you had to have $2,000 for unlimited day trades, but at least on Webull, you do not need $2,000 for unlimited day trades. So that so yeah, I know there, so you don't have to transfer everything right away if it takes some time. I know like you can transfer your cash immediately, like from your cash account. Let's say, okay, well, obviously today market was closed on Monday. I can only speak for Webull though, guys. I haven't been on any other broker for a while, except for TD, but that's for blue chip stocks. Yeah, I think you have to wait till 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. I don't think you can do it right at 4 a.m. when the pre-market opens, but you can just transfer everything instantly into your margin account. Yeah. You want that same buying power, yeah. You're not trying to go in there handicapped. But I wish this thing happened eons ago, right? Because I would have benefited a decade ago if they would have changed that damn rule. But I am excited for new traders and other traders where it was like, because who really has over $25,000, right? Like just to put into the trading account. If you work your way up to it, yeah, but I always say, even if you do have 25,000, I still wouldn't day trade. I would wait for like a little buffer, like 30 grand or something like that. So at least you don't feel pressure every trade. Because if you're even down 50 cents from that 25,000, they will margin call you for 50 cents and won't let you day trade. So, but now, again, I speak for Webull. I don't know if other platforms are doing this, but I know Webull, there is no minimum, just unlimited day trades. But if you want to short stocks, you do need $2,000 minimum to have that feature. Yeah, I'll never forget it, Frost. That's that when I give that example, like also too, guys, just so when I'm giving random example like that, it's from my own experience. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. I finally reached 25,000. Was feeling good about myself, but keep in mind, guys, I was like, okay, transfer, because I was using the cash account, right? Because cash accounts, you get the cash back in the days. You would have to wait for 2 days for your cash, the cash that you use to be like settled. So when I hit it, then I transferred everything to the margin. I was feeling myself. I was like, and I got a few good trades, and then the next day I lost it. And then I think I went down, and I'll never forget it, guys. It was 24,900, and maybe it was a little more than 50 cents, but it wasn't even $1, guys. I assure you. The next I looked at it and I'm like, that I should be okay. I'm like, I woke up, literally saw the message sliding across my screen. They wanted that money. It was like, you cannot. I could buy and sell the next day as a swing, but I couldn't initiate a day trade. If I did while I had that margin call, it was over. So I had to do a stupid deposit for 50. In fact, I did like $100 just to like, and then I was just like, that's dumb. And then after that, and still, even that day, even if I did it the same day, I had to wait till the next day to trade. So Fortunately for me, though, I got some really good swing trades after that, and then I built that buffer. And then, that's how I pretty much went. But 50 cents, listen, a penny, they'll do it. They don't care. But now you'll never see those messages ever again. You'll never see them again, guys. Yeah, no, I'm super happy it's over now. No one has to go through that hardship. Anyone, listen, I've always felt this way. I never liked the idea that some traders threw out there where it's like, well, you have a big account, so it's easier for you. But I'm like, no, I'm like, everyone starts with a small account. Like, do you think everyone comes into the market with hundreds of thousands of dollars and they just, oh, I'm a trader? No, like everyone, if you come in and you go, my account is small, so I can't make big profits. If that's the way you're coming in, you're already nerfing yourself. You're nerfing your ability to execute. Because I can point out a few tickers. Hell, you had $1,000. What's a good example? AIXI. That thing was at 10 cents. The very next trading session, it was as high as freaking what, $1? No, it went up to like 90 something cents. And then the next day it went up to 275. So had you bought, let's say you had $1,100 in your account, that if, let's say if you YOLO'd it, right? You just said, hey, let me grab, 10,000 shares. You would have made over $20,000 in 2 days. So I refuse. When it comes to this trading thing, guys, when I say psychology is important, it's truly important. You will nerf yourself. We as retail traders have enough to worry about in the market, but when you yourself is putting in doubt, it's even worse. It's even worse. So for me, I'm as confident as they will come. I am fearless, not reckless, fearless, and that's how you have to be as a trader. QXL. You're looking at QXL. Later trader, what's going on? Just burning the midnight oil, my friend. Just looking for looking for the next big play. Just so you're aware, I did reveal a potential rocket play that I was going to release earlier this week, but they had a ticker name change. They did so many things. So I wanted to pull back and see how the stock moved, what was going on with it. But it was ticker SNSE, but they changed to FTH. So that is a potential rocket. I will add it to the potential rocket playlist. This exact live stream, you guys, our other members are going to look and be like, what kind of potential rocket video is that? That thing is like over an hour long. I try to keep those videos really 10 minutes or less. I don't believe, I used to do it like 15, 20 minutes because I believe in giving my peers all of the information. Like I'm not someone, just because I'm bullish on it, I'm not going to tell you about dilution. I'm going to tell you everything. I'm not Mr. Pump my stock because I want it to go in my way. Hey, this has great potential, but be careful. This too. So it's like, at least, and of course, always double check my work, guys, but at least everything. I don't do bias trade analysis. But check out ticker FTH. Of course, my friend, we got to stick together, man. I think as retail traders, again, I know sometimes I sound cheesy and I sound like people are like, yeah, get out of here. I'm being serious. Like, as retail traders, guys, we need to stick together, man. The hedge funds have each other. The market makers have each other. But so often when you guys, I know you see that when you're reading Stock Twist feed or a Weeble feed, we're constantly at each other's throats, trying to make the other look bad, or laughing at someone's downfall, or Now, if you're someone that spreads FUD and false information and everything, and you get burned on a play like that, I'm not gonna lie, I won't feel too bad for you because you were spreading misinformation. I do believe in something called karma, but you know, no one should take pleasure in others losing. Everyone is working hard, everyone's putting their hard-earned money on the line. So we should be in a space, those social media feeds under these tickers should be a positive place of information, but unfortunately it's more like troll city. Too many people have attitudes in the trading areas. I mean, listen, man, I'll be honest with you. You know what it is, and I'm not excusing the behavior. It's the emotions. You know, like who's? Let me see. Someone recently posted on what ticker it was. We was just looking at this thing. I didn't save the screenshot, but I think that person was down $7,000 on something, and he was pissed. And in his comments after that was just like he wasn't trying to hear nothing from nobody, right? And I mean that's what it really stems from. That's why I think sometimes I'm very understand. It's very rare for me to block people on social media, although I'm attacked a lot by like random people, which I don't know why. I'm celebrating the like other people's success. It's not, I don't even promote my own profits like that sometimes. Like sometimes I limit that because, oh, stop showing off, or you want a cookie? Well, I'm like, yes, with milk. It's hard out here, but despite whatever I'm doing, whether it's highlighting my own personal win or a team member, I'm met with like sometimes negative energy, and it's nothing that I did wrong. It's just that person doesn't want to see like they took a loss on this. Why am I celebrating this ticker? And you know how we do, guys. We work early in the morning pre-market, and you know how sometimes what happens in pre-market is not what's going to happen in the market, and that thing can crash and tumble and burn, and people think it's going to keep doing what it did in pre-market, so they'll chase it regardless if the chart is telling them no, regardless if they don't even see a downtrend. They just look at where it was and they want to chase it, and they don't want to see me going, congratulations, later trader, congratulations, Crestline, beautiful scalp, beautiful win. They don't want to hear that. It's infuriating, but they just have to grow out of it. I understand the emotion. Although when I was a rookie, I wasn't like on social media cursing people out, but you know, I try to be come from an understanding place. I try to be understanding. I'll still try to help them even if they're cursing me out. I'll be honest. I think especially like on stock twits, Weeble people leave me alone now. But before, people used to try and challenge me like it was their mission to prove that I didn't know what I was doing and I was like scamming people and I was wrong with my alerts. And it was like, and once I started noticing that, I am trying my best now just not to respond anymore, because it's not about right or wrong, right? I can sit here and be like, I'm 100-0. Whoever, if you guys have followed me long enough on stock twits, there's always somebody coming to challenge me. And it's like, but that gets exhausting after a while. But they're just in a miserable state because they're not profitable. They're in a miserable state because they keep losing and they don't want to see others win. But here's the thing, they can change it if they want, but because they rather use that energy and stay in that place, they're just going to keep losing. Like, rather than curse out your peers, why not just say, hey, how did you do that? Or like, hey, I took a loss on this. I see you made profit, or I see your team made profit. Like how? Like what was it that you saw? What did you guys do? Like me, when I got out of my emotional state as a rookie, like that's why I had to put the pride in the ego. I had to, hey, what am I doing wrong? Right? So it's like, I would even get DMs like days later, like, look at your stock now. Like, oh, how you feeling now? respectfully, I already sold it for profit. Whatever it does a week later is not, but because it's like the emotions, like they want to stick it to me, they want to stick it to their peers. Guys, I'm gonna share a screenshot. Someone, I don't know if you guys remember last year when Bitcoin and Ethereum was on fire, right? And I don't trade crypto directly. I have family members that do, and they're very good at it, very lucrative for them, right? But I said, hey, I do stocks, so let me trade the ETFs, right? That revolve around Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? So there was one ETHU, and it was around 40, 50 bucks. And, after training with my cousins and everything, them walking me through everything. Like when I say walking me through, I'm looking at chart patterns, studying what Bitcoin and Ethereum has done the last 15 years. Like they were really breaking it down. I was like, wait a minute, like, hey, we're in this bullish momentum. We're in this bullish phase. Okay, I'm not going to go and buy Bitcoin for freaking, I don't know what it was at the time, 70, 80,000. I'm not going to go and do that. But hey, ETU, 50 bucks, 40 bucks. Let me scrape some of that. Like if I'm going to put a lot of money into something, this way I get more shares versus the coins that I could have bought. So, that thing ran to, and me guys, I'm always giving free games. So I go to StockTwits. I'm like, hey, I'm really loving this. Da, 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 da. A few members also took the trade with me as well. Who's a member still? Chaticus. You guys can ask Chaticus about it. And he also bought in, guys, and we bought in 50s, 60s. We didn't sell until 180, and it took like maybe 3 months, if I'm not mistaken. But there was a trader on StockTwits, and I was like, dude, like, hey, this thing is on fire. The momentum. I did everything I could, guys. Like, I'm like, hey, I know you're being a jerk, but look, like the short position that now I'll never tell anyone to buy, sell, or do anything. But I'm like, hey, that short position you have, be careful if you see us hitting these price levels because we're on a bullish momentum. Like Bitcoin is going up, which means Ethereum is going to go up. It's not going to stop. Be careful. Have a stop loss. Double check what I'm sharing with you. Nope, it was Troll City. Well, guess what? Here comes $80. 90, 110, 120, a little pullback. That little pullback happened. Here comes the at mentions. I'm like, who's notifying? Like, why am I getting notifications at 2 a.m? It's that person. Like, I told you. Da, 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 da. The next day after that, I told you, right back to 120, 140, 150. And I didn't hear from that person since, nor do I care. It's not I told you, so I don't care. But guys, 2 weeks ago, guess who ats me? Guys, it's been a year. Guess who ats me on that old comment from a year ago? Oh, how you feeling now? I don't know. We sold already. Like, and here's the thing with traders, a lot of the new generation traders, right? And again, if I sound like I'm being offensive, I'm really not trying to be. Take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, guys. Like, don't be offended by this. But the new generation of traders cannot tell the difference between trading and investing. For them, it's all one big ball. Like it's all just one thing that they ball up together, but it's not. I was trading ETHU, whatever that ETF is. I wasn't going to hold that for years. The minute that thing peaked at 180 and struggled and started pulling back, we were gone. Now it did dip to like, I don't know, 125. And guess what, guys? It went right back to 180. So, and I didn't jump in at that time, but I'm just saying, like, understand the difference between trading and investing, and they're not the same. Okay. It's not the same. So, and I see a lot of traders doing that, and that's where you kind of mess up and lose money as well, because it took you a year to come back and tell me, who was right? Yeah, Ethereum and Bitcoin is crashing right now. Why would I still be holding that position with an average of $50 and hold it now to have it come right back to my average when I was as high as 180 bucks? That doesn't make sense to me. The ETF is not a long-term, you know, swing. Well, let me not say that. It depends on where you get it. But at that given time, no, it was just for that cycle that crypto was bullish. So, you know, I just think a lot of traders suffer from that as well. And you'll see that in the comments. Like when a stock doesn't perform well, you'll see someone, oh, well, it performed well, but pulled back heavily, right? Gave back everything. It took back all the big gains. And if you don't leave fast enough, you'll see traders in there like, oh, yeah, in 2 years, they're going to knock it out. Well, listen, no offense to the comments that are like that, but guys, I'm going to be honest with you. Most of us as traders, we don't care about 2 years. If this thing just moved up $10 in one day, we're taking it today. If it pulls back and you're mad that you're in the red, if you come out with a comment and say, well, you guys are silly, you wait and see what happens in 2 years, you'll regret it. No one cares. And I say that with respect. We don't, day traders, we don't care. We're day traders. We want the money now. Pay me now. Maybe if I do love it, I'll leave a little bit of something behind. But when you confuse trading and investing, you think it's all in one big thing. It's not. It's two different things. So I've seen a lot of traders, oh man, you guys are crazy for selling this thing. This thing is going to be big in 5 years. Well, I'm going to listen, this is harsh truth, guys. This is 2026. A majority of traders coming into the market, a majority of traders that have been in the market the last 5 to 6 years, I can say, the holding, the diamond hands thing, yes, it does qualify for certain stocks, right? I'm not talking about blue chip stocks, right? It does qualify for some that have the potential to be crazy, right? Like Nvidia, when it made its move to $1,000 before the reverse split. If you'd have gotten Nvidia under $100, you would have been feeling really good about yourself. So I understand that, but not everything is diamond hands. Not everything is the next Amazon. Not everything, but again, when you get emotionally tied to that ticker, you start just making things up. You may not notice it in the moment, and you trying to convince everybody, but like, dude, the stock just went up to $13 from $3. What ticker was that? I'm referencing a ticker. I think it was WTO. Went from 3 to 13, guys. We collect our profits. We're having a good time. And then you come back the next day. The thing is at 10 cents and you got people in there. Oh, it don't matter. It's gonna, yeah, it does. You're trying to sell this dream, but it does. Okay. Trading and investing is two different things. But guys, I urge you to really see the difference. Like, be honest with yourself. Just because you got caught and you don't want to sell for a loss doesn't mean that you try to convince the world that this is like the next best thing. You have to admit to yourself you made a mistake. You should have secured profit and maybe looked for a new entry if you really believe in it. But, again, that goes to being responsible in what you write on social media and all that good stuff. So 7,000 is a lot to lose. Definitely. Listen, 7,000 in one trade is diabolical. Listen, I've been there. I'm speaking from experience. So I have a zero tolerance for that. No one can, I don't care, guys. I don't care if you have $1 million in your account. You being down 7,000, it better be on something. It got to be Amazon. It got to be Google. It has to be something of top tier levels. Like, it's the only way I could look at you and be like, all right. Google is going to be here forever. Fine. I'm sure they'll bounce back, or you'll be able to average down, but like not on the day trades. Hell no. Hell to the nah. Hell to the nah. Yes, there are many scammers out there, and I've watched you for a while. I've seen that you're authentic and helpful to newbies and community members. Newbies. Listen, we're all newbies at some point, man. But again, I appreciate the transparency. I appreciate the flowers. You know, I just think it's important, man. Like I don't think we should waste time scamming each other or waste time I know what it feels like to be down 7,000 in a trade, so I'll never find that funny because I know what that felt like. I know what it felt like. I know what I was trying to convince myself of, like, oh, it's all good, they're gonna bounce back. No, no, bozo, you should have collected the $3,000 when you had it, or the 2,000 or whatever it was. I forgot what ticker. It's something fresh and recent. G Puss. There we go. Boy, even if it's not me hurting, guys, I feel people's pain, man, and that's why I started this platform. I was like, oh hell no, I doubt I'll see the comment. Remember, guys, remember this was on the watch list, and I was like, guys, if it does not hold that 43 cents, it's gonna tumble, guys. 26 cents after hours. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Please go to the live trading stream on Thursday and you will see me saying exactly that. I was like, I like it. I like the movement. This was beautiful. The last few days have been amazing. Under 20 cents. You have 50 cents. It's time to collect. Guys, stop trying to sell yourself these stories. Oh, this is the next. Well, okay. Okay. Right here. I remember it. Broke 43 cents, tumbled, tried to come back. Nope. Rejection. Oh, you're trying to come back? Bigger rejection to 21 cents. I don't take no pride. I'll be the last person to say I told you so. I don't care if I did tell you a million times. Like, we all have to learn, right? Some people just have to learn the hard way. The only thing I will say is, like, and I think we've only had like one member that was really just stubborn because the emotions, and I got it. And I was just really trying to help him understand, like, you got to get rid of those emotions. Like, these stocks, these companies, they don't care about us. When you see reversing on the chart, it's time to go, my friend, because I don't want anybody getting hit by this, let alone if you're paying for a service. I understand it's $1.66 a day. There's no huge pressure on the charges from this platform, but that don't mean it's okay to sit here and and I saw that negative 7,000, guys. Remember, that was live when I pulled that up. So it wasn't even here yet. It must have been around here when I was looking in the comment section, around that 38 cents, 37 cents. So it's like, boy, 21 cents. And also, guys, go to the comment section sometimes. You'll be able to quickly tell who's full of it and who's not. They're going to try to talk you into oh, man, don't worry. It's going to sell. You bought it under 20 cents. It's at 50 cents. Stop. Oh, it's going to $2. No, it's not. It is not. I want it to, but it's not. Right. And as long as you can tell the difference, then you'll be safe. But by the way, they're saying they're getting scammed on these stock. Learn how to trade better. Actually go to school, and see, I like the message is just too aggressive. Like, that's not you gotta be a little bit more sensitive than that. But yeah, if I can find this guy again and show you, but he probably deleted it, or he probably don't want to hear nothing about this stock. Let me see if I can find it. Oh man. Again, I try my best to ignore the trolling post. Yeah, I doubt I'm gonna see it, but look. Someone is celebrating, saying that they're up. They must have caught that low, that 21 cents. They're putting a rocket, but at least you got the bottom. Look, see people trolling. I know you guys can't see the images when I click on them, but they got Vegeta crying over here. This is ridiculous. I'm trying to see if I can find Well, anyway, it was Jeepus. And that's how you know. I didn't even trade it, but I felt that pain. I said, damn, 7,000? And if that person had the nerve to sit there and hold even longer, and here's the thing too, guys, when you hold that long and you're negative, I'm gonna tell you what I was doing. Like, I'm already down 7,000. It can't get any worse. Yes, it can. Oh, hell yes, it can. Yes, yes, it can. Damn. 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 He said bag hold in peace. That's not nice, man. Yeah, I'm trying to find my guy because he just shared an image, so it's going to be real easy to find it. But let me see. All in with my profit made, nothing to lose. There is something to lose. Your profits. Do you see what I'm saying? And I get the thought process though. Like I get it. Like I'm gonna buy it. I made money on it. Now I'm taking that money that I made on it and I'm reinvesting it. So there's no risk. There is a risk. It's your money now. You secured it. That's your money. Just because you didn't, let it breathe for a day. See, when I read stuff like that, I can't find my guy. My guy probably deleted that, or it's just so far gone. But yeah, it was G-Puss, and you can tell. You see, I was genuinely shocked by 21 cents. I didn't 26 cents. I stopped watching it once I saw that break. I was like, all right, it's done. There's nothing else I needed from this. I'd rather go and watch CAST, which at that time was cooking, right? Let me take these lines off. At that same exact time, look, this is that run that we ate up from 7 to 10. This while that's doing that, we're doing this. And that's the other thing that I would like to see my peers doing across the entire retail trading community. Like that stock is not working, move on. It's time to move on. I learned to collect them games. I learned from you to collect them gains, even on big cap stocks. I was mad I didn't do it on this. But you didn't? Stop playing around, Frost. Not the laughing emoji. Frost, hell no. Frost. Also, too, and this is for anyone watching the stream. If you want cheaper options to trade SpaceX, trade their ETFs, which is SPCG and SPCM. Okay, I believe the CM is when StockX. I keep thinking of freaking sneakers. When SpaceX is going up, ticker SPCM is going to go up as well, but it's just much cheaper. It's an ETF. That's what. And then the SPCG is if it's falling, that one is going to go up. Okay, so you can trade the ETFs. You get more bang for your buck. Because when I was trading it, I realized I'm like, oh, I might be being insensitive to others. Because typically I try to most of my alerts, I'm looking for stocks that are $10 or less with other certain criteria. So when I'm looking at SpaceX, I know not everyone has the capital to buy something meaningful there. So, and not saying that no one can. I'm just, again, everyone starts at the bottom. So, our platform, we range. There might be some people with deep wallets. They might have a new trader coming in. So use those tickers for SpaceX if you want. Olivia. My framework got trimmed by. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely, my friend. I agree with you 1,000%. I held Jeepus and I cut it, seeing how parabolic it was. I was about to round trip those games. Oh man. I remember when I got into G Puss, when was it? Like the 17 cents range. I remember like way, way before. And I was like, G Puss. I had one nice trade on G Puss that I can speak of. It was last year. Or was it earlier this year? I think it was last year. I feel like last year G Puss dropped news every single day. We used to call it the CNN of the stock market. Every day they had a catalyst. And then finally they actually ran all the way up to like $1.80. And we tore that play up because we were so in tune with it. We knew everything that was going on with it, because it was always positive news. So I always shared it regardless if it moved or not. And I was like, this was the day it moved. And guess what, guys? It went to 180. It came crashing right back down to its normal levels, but we still with beautiful profits that day. But this was the second time I have seen G Plus in a year make a decent move. And listen, it's not that I want them to fall back, but I'm like, if the chart is saying it's time to go, it's time to go. It doesn't matter if you love it, if it's the initials of your mother's name, it doesn't matter. Whatever emotions we're tying to these things, hell no, run for the hills. Secure profits and look for the dip. I would say looking back, I have to work on my thinking during trades. I would like to learn to trade those bottoms like you did the other day. That was cool. I'm just always thinking it's gonna dump. You're not the only person. Everyone thinks that. I would say, um, if I may ask, is it because you probably took losses in the past? That was my reason. It's probably because when you take too many losses, you just keep assuming the worst, and then that fear cripples you. I can't tell you how many times when that fear had me by the throat. Like even if I saw a diamond play, it could have said Warren Buffett is buying this company for 10 billion. I would sit there and just be like, let me see. Maybe. And then guess what? It explodes. And then now, you know what I'm saying? Oh, just pull back. Just come back to that price and I'll get in this time. No, it's too late. And then I go into the next phase. It's too expensive now. It can't go up any further than that. I don't want to buy it. It's going to dump. It goes up another 30 in your face. So it's again the psychological aspect of it. And this is why I put so much of a focus on that, and why the focus is really to break those bad habits, to shape the way that you think. Um, that's a big focus for me on this platform, because I'm telling you, I know everyone can relate. I was missing out on the biggest plays. I saw them, sat there, watched them. And you know what I did? Revenge traded the next day on some crap. Like, oh, the last time I sat there and watched it, it went up. I'm not going to do that no more. I'm jumping in right away. Well, guess what, dum dum? This one has dilution. Guess what, dum dum? It's not the same thing. It's not the same criteria. It's not the same anything. And guess what? It tanks on me. And when it tanks on me, here we go again. Oh, man. Every time I touch something, it tanks. No, 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 no. The universe is not out to get us, guys. We're not looking for the best opportunities to jump in. We're hesitating on things we shouldn't hesitate on. And the things that we should cut our losses on, we find all the conviction in the world to hold on to a losing trade. Oh, I took 3 losses in a row. I can't keep taking losses. Yes, you can. I don't care if you've taken 10 losses in a row. If you took 10 losses in a row just for $100, that's manageable. You can bounce back from that. But when you sit there and you take 10 losses in a row for 1,000 each, 2,000, that's where you start crippling yourself. That's where that fear, psychologically, you start blocking your own success. And the only way to get out of it, guys, is yourself. And that also takes accountability to say, hey, I dropped the ball. But if you can't overcome those things, then unfortunately, it's not going to work out. Unfortunately, there's a lot of, I think every human being has the potential. You know, people go, oh, trading is scary. You're going to lose all your money. And that, okay, well, if that's how you want to frame it in your mind, yeah. Is it risky? Yes, but if study, I guarantee you guys, I can guarantee you will find a bulk of traders. Ask them how many times they visit sec.gov. Ask them. I see sec.gov every day. There hasn't been a day. I'm telling you, once I had to get my act together, every day I'm in there. What's going on? You don't have to read the entire 80-page document. Sometimes those documents they're massive, but when you know what to look for and on what pages and keywords, but you won't get that skill if you never do it. Now, the benefit of it is because I do it, the team doesn't really have to, but I still encourage them to, hey, go and double check me anyway. The reason why I keep saying double check is because I want people to get in the habit of sec.gov. Go in, read it, because now the more you absorb from there, when I say it, you're going to understand me 1,000%. Of course, I never mind holding anyone's hands. Like I'll repeat it to you 10 times. If you want me to show you 10 times, I got you. I'm not going to lose my patience because I get it. But some people just don't want to do that. They don't like the research. If Jeepus was a good play at open and I said no because of how extended it was from the bands, mean reversion happens more often. Yep. And hopefully they heard you out. Because again, and Calivia is also one of our members as well. And that's why I speak to that. Like, you're not going to join a lot of community where people is going to give you that. People are more interested in, like Calivia was in that stock. Like he said earlier, he could have easily been like, oh yeah, this is going to the top. Oh yeah. Because he would benefit from that, right? Like if it keeps going, he benefits. But if he sees danger and he tells you, that's why, one of my messages throughout the years, because I really started this mission on Webull, because I got tired of seeing people lose money. And, they would be so pissed. They would curse me out. Get out of here. You short, blocked. I'm like, blocked? I'm like, what the? I'm like, look, they just filed an S1 and it's active, like an ATM or something is happening. And they would be pissed because it goes against what they want the stock to do. But I'm like, okay, like I'm a bull, but that doesn't mean ignore risk. And, when things tank, I think that's how I started becoming popular on Webull, because people started realizing like, damn, like a few people was coming to me like, yo, I was really hard on you. I'm sorry about that. You were right. And I'm like, it's not about being right for me. It was just like, look, like just because someone is saying something that goes against your trade doesn't mean they're against you. They're actually trying to help you. There's been shorts that have helped me avoid damage. Like, hey man, they got this offering coming out. When I was a rookie, I was like, get out of here. Ha ha ha. Like, get out of here. You spreading FUD. Guess what? He posted like 3 times in a row. And I said, you know what? Let me go and look. I went and I saw it. When I tell you I closed out that trade so fast, guys, I can't even make this up. Maybe like 15 minutes later, tanked. So if I would have allowed my emotions to just, hey, screw you, dude, guess what? And he shorted, he made money, of course, but so just try to have that open ear, or else look at YGH. To me, I think the worst one that I saw was freaking, you know what? I guess let's talk recent times. PAVS. That was devastating. You see how I highlighted PAVS earlier? Let me pull that up on a chart. That ran what for us, guys? 25, 26 bucks. I literally said, hey, this thing wants to it could possibly run to 25, little resistance on the way up. If volume continues, this thing pushes up to 26. And yes, guys, you can go to that exact day, June 9th, because I remember it, guys. I'm a nerd. Look, I didn't even have to look at a calendar. Look, June 9th, right here, right? And us as a team, we're securing all along this climb, right? You don't have to buy here, hold. and sell up top. You can if you have balls of steel and, you don't mind big pullbacks, fine. However, but, make your money on the way up. But when it's time to go, it's time to go. It's time to go. And when it did this little fake little pump up, I told the team, I said, I'm not falling for that. You can watch it live, guys. It's on the stream. Trust me, guys. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Look, I'm still sitting down. Tanks. But what I couldn't have imagined, guys, and they dropped an offering on top of that. So this thing goes to 95 cents after touching 20. Guys, this is not even 5 hours. This is just brutal. If you want to talk about aggressive pullback, right here for you. And then it had the nerve to go lower the next day and lower the next day. Guys, 25 cents from $26. I don't care what type of moves it did after the fact. I don't even want to touch the stock after that. I don't even care. Look, it did have a nice little bounce to 47 cents just to come back and make a lower low the next day at 17 cents. It's at 15 cents right now. 14 cents closed. See these moves? Now, this is when it bounced back. I remember this now on the 12th, Friday. Shorts was closing out those positions. Everyone's feeling good, right? But here's my thing. Take it here, enter here, into here, into here, and eat all of this. And then it's time to go. It's time to go. You can see the chart reversing right here. I would have already been gone because I don't believe in massive pullbacks. I'm not giving back profit like that. I'm going to secure at some point. But even right here, right? Not because I can see it, guys. If again, for those that know with the custom trading strategy, you see it right here, confirmed. If this wasn't enough warning for you here, confirmed right here. And if you don't listen, guess what happens? You get that nice little sharp dagger. I saw it Friday. I didn't even mention it. I was like, we're going to keep that one. We don't need to talk about this one. This is where you should have entered a nice 4 in the morning. This is where you could have got it. I mean, hell, if you'd have bought it at 19 cents, I guess a beautiful swing. But you can't keep thinking. I saw someone, back to 25. Okay, back to 25 cents, you mean. And here you go. Not hindsight. I know I can see the chart how it played out, but right here, if this wasn't the warning for you when it tried to come back up here to match this, it couldn't quite do it. Came here again, lower highs all the way down. Look, a high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. I can show you 50 different ways why this was going to go down. But when the emotions are high, they don't want to hear it. So that's why I say it's very important. You can have all the strategy in the world. You can have all the books. You can pay for all the courses. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. But if you're not in control of those emotions, I keep telling traders, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay. It's okay to be wrong because especially when you're not that experienced or where you don't know all the details. Hey, man, I jumped the gun on this one. I need to go. That's how you're going to save yourself. But you try to, you already put 3 posts on here. To the moon, shorts, you're going to burn. So now that's the ego and the pride. You feel like, no, if I sell, I look like a sellout. No, you better sell. It's okay to be wrong. You got it wrong. It's okay. It's okay. But YYGH was terrible, though. I've been caught in many dumps. Everyone has. Everyone. What was the worst dump I've ever gotten caught in? It's gonna be these tickers probably don't even exist, guys. This is like 10 years ago. I have a 0 tolerance policy. I avoid halt downs because of the way that I do my stop losses. I'm not. I can't do it. I'm telling you, when I was down my first year, emotionally broken. My wife was pregnant. I used 33% of our savings, blew it, $31,000, blew it on trading. Like, supposed to be getting a house. Like, what was I doing? I was devastated. I was like, okay, if you're really going to do this trading thing, go back. What was your mistake? Study, like, be disciplined, because we know what we do wrong, but we keep doing it. That's also another thing too. Like we keep saying, don't chase a stock when it's up 1,000%, but we keep allowing our FOMO to make us do it. You know, so there's definitely and I'm trying to work on that. I need to read charts better. Later Trader, are you a BTT member? If you are, I pinned it to the live chat. I just don't know what membership you have. I think it is the BTT membership. Just click that link. I created a custom strategy that's going to tell you how to find support, resistance, good entries, good exits, all that good stuff. It's about an hour long, but just lock in. If you don't have a strategy, just go and get that. Go and get that. I don't mind putting in the time to give the tools. That's one thing I'll tell the team. All the tools is there. You know, I just ask that. I know everyone wants a 5-minute video, but guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not gonna cut it. I made it my mission to prove that last year when I first started, and while the platform was free. And what ticker was it for? It was for ticker KNW, which is now USBC. But this thing had big potential. Everyone thought I was crazy. They're like, oh man, you're nuts. You're nuts. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, this is why. And then I made it a potential rocket video on that Friday. And then there was another trader on YouTube, Top Trader Sam. Yes, Top Trader Sam. And he made a BTAI video basically saying it's going to dump. If I was you, I would sell. Like it's trash. And I'm like, when I was looking at that, I was like, tell us you're shorting without telling us you're shorting it, you know, because it was in the 70 cents range and it ran to like 125, 130. And I was like, oh, I'm holding this for Monday. This is going to cook. And when I seen that video, I was like, okay. And I looked into it because I don't have an ego, guys. I'm always looking to learn. Whether you have 1 month trading experience or you have 10 plus like me, I'm always going to give you an ear because I want to get better, right? So I go and I listen to this guy. You know, I see 25,000 subscribers. I'm like, okay, like, you know, clearly people trust him. Let's see. And everything I heard in there was like, this is extremely biased. And every piece of information he shared, the news debunked, but he was reading specific things out of the article rather than sharing everything. So I was just like, that's a little biased, you know, like, and guess what, guys? Not about who was right and who was wrong. I think at that time I had 500 subscribers, guys. I wasn't no big timer on YouTube or anything like that, you know, but, and guess what? I made like a 16-minute video. He made a 5-minute video. And guess where? Oh, Bear, I hear you, but yeah, he, you know, okay, not a problem. That following Monday, again, the video was made Friday. Following Monday, that ticker went from that dollar range all the way to 5 by the time it was 5:30. So everyone that followed that and shorted, you can go right to his comment section on that BTAI video. I swear to you, the first thing you'll see is someone like, hey man, like what happened? I'm down 25,000. Like, is it going to go down? Like, and I'm like, damn. And I say, and it's not, this is not to bad mouth him. I think he knows exactly what he's doing as a trader. I think, you know, obviously he has a huge following, but in a lot of his takes, he's very biased. You can clearly sometimes see that, hey, you shorted this or you bought this and you're really, and I understand it, but I'm like, you can't leave out parts of the news. You can't leave out, like, he's like, oh, the company has no money, they're in debt. Well, the news is Greg Kidd is coming in. He's wiping out all their debt. He's giving them 16 million in cash to continue their projects, and he's giving them 1,000 Bitcoin, which at the time Bitcoin was at $100,000 a coin. So it's like, how can you leave all of that out and say the company is in debt? Well, yeah, they were in debt, not anymore. So again, just that's why I would say be careful who you follow. Doesn't matter. Following count doesn't matter to me. Years of trading doesn't matter to me. What you got to say. and let me go and fact check you, but always have that open ear, guys. But I did make a comparison video on purpose that I did it on Sunday because it pissed me off a little bit because I'm like, dude, you have too big of a following to be that irresponsible like that. Like you were really trying to benefit from that, but did not work out. And then I did one for BTAI. Guess who does a negative video for BTAI? So I kind of felt like he probably saw that video because it had like 700 views on there. So I felt like he looked at it, and now it was like whatever potential rocket video I put out, I'm gonna tackle them. And same thing, negative, negative, negative. BTAI went from $1.35 to $8.22. Not looking so hot. And he did 3 videos on BTAI. The first 2 negative. The third one, he finally got on board. Like, all right, I made this move. All right, it can make a move to 8. I'm like, it's too late. So again, not a me versus him, but just to really highlight, be careful. Bear does not do that. I never will. Every potential rocket video, you hear me warn you, like, hey guys, look, dilution here, this there, but be responsible, everyone. I have a core position just trimmed on Friday. Olivia, which one are you talking about when you say your core? Hold on, let me catch up. Oh, you talking about GPUS? Well, look, at least you sold and collected profits, and you had a nice low average. People in there were buying at 50 cents. Oh, see you at $1. Okay, all in. I'm like, what? Crazy. The thing about Webull, though, Webull allows people to delete comments whenever. It doesn't matter if they posted it last year. You can delete it. So they'll set people up, man. That's why I say be careful on who you listen to. Don't get caught up just because they're chanting the stock and it's going and you want it to go in that favor. Trust me. Ask them why. Oh, this is going to $1. Why do you feel that way? What is it that you see? 90% of the time, they will not respond to you. If you don't believe me, try it. You'll see what I mean. You're going to be like, okay, they're just pumping the stock. They don't know. When it's time to go, it's time to go, my friends. No news is like walking down a dark alley at nighttime. Oh my God. It's true. We were so locked in. I was mad I missed that last good run on Cast. What were you locked in on? You were locked in on GPUS at the time? Cast, I was almost done with it, but I was like, let me see something. Let me see if you're gonna hold. Remember when I was like, oh, I'm gonna put my stop loss at 760, and then I moved it to 715, and I said, all right, let me give it a chance. And it literally came to 760. It would have knocked me out if I didn't do that. Then it went back up. Then I moved it up to 760, and I was like, all right, I'm leaving it. And then it cooked. It cooked. I think the best thing about that moment was just like the team was cooking on there. The team was cooking. People will accuse this platform of, oh, all you guys copy trade each other and that's how you're making money. I'm very flattered that everyone thinks I have billions of dollars to move stocks in my favor. I don't. Okay. I just can read a chart. That's all that it is. I read the chart. I see the momentum. I do my technical analysis. I try to identify my support and resistance, and I just trust my trade. That's it. That's it. And the beautiful thing about this platform that I love is that every day I try to keep it to like a 15 top alerts, right? Like, let's watch these 15. Some new ones may appear and we'll have to swap out. But I love that everyone trades different things. Like, no one can ever accuse us of like pumping and dumping a stock, guys. Like, I can alert 3 different stocks and like everyone is trading all 3, right? Like, someone is trading this one, someone's trading that one. Like, no one, unless it's like Cast was like so on the nose from 4 in the morning, like, and the stream doesn't start at 4. So I didn't alert it. I didn't say nothing to nobody. but everyone in the market was watching it. Well, whoever was up that early, that thing was cooking, so, but even when I am on camera, guys, like, that's not what we do. Again, if you want to copy trade, that is at your own risk. But, I love that we have so many options to trade. It's not just one ticker. Like, we have so many things going on. And like I said, even the community gives plays. And so it's just one, for me, at least, I'm having a good time to the point where I just get tired. Like Thursday, I was tired, guys. I'm not going to lie to you. I was like, by the time it was like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, I was like, guys, I'm mentally beat. I was like, I don't even want to trade anymore. But yeah, no news is walking. Yes, I prefer my catalyst to have a reason to, my stock to have a catalyst, right? It needs a reason to run. But what I will say to you is, I keep an already alerted watch list, which I also ask the team to do. So anything that has been alerted on the platform by the end of the business day, like, just move them all to that watch list. So like, for example, for the month of June, I keep it for the entire month. Every month I start a fresh one. And on this list, I have, hold on, I'm going to tell you right now, it's probably, what is this, June 20th? 243 tickers are on there. And the reason why I do that is because sometimes something dropped news the day before, the week before, a few days before, right? And it was solid news, but the market just didn't react, or didn't react strongly to it. And the next minute, boom, it's just, you don't know why, it's just moving, right? And rather than wait on a scanner to tell me it has a million volume and it's up $3, $4 or $2, your watch list, I can only speak for Webull. My watch list, the way it's geared for me, is like, that thing moves up even 5%, it's gonna tell me. And if I notice it's moving up at like a random time, like 5 in the morning, like 6:30, I'll go and quickly pivot and look at it, right? And guess what? I don't need to go why it's moving today. They didn't drop any news. They dropped news 2 days ago. They dropped news last week. So at least there's something recent that I could say, okay, that justifies. But to your point, there are stocks with nothing. The last time they dropped news is June. The last time they dropped something was in January, and it was for a regains compliance, or a Form 3 or a Form 4. So yes, those, if you're early and you're fast enough and you're experienced enough, right, and you can momentum trade, then fine. But those I would try to avoid early in your career if possible. Even if it runs, guys, sometimes they'll run forever. You just got to bite the bullet on that. You have to understand what's for you and what's not for you. But if you're experienced, then by all means, knock it out of the park. Knock it out of the park. Later trader, yes, I basically know most of all of that, but I just overthink it all. Yep. I said it earlier. We know, like, listen, as a rookie, even after a few butt kickings, guys, like after like your 20th loss, is just, it, but what are you doing about it? You know it. Have you processed it yet? And what's the solution? That's all. Oh, copy. Yeah, for DRAM. Olivia, people call me crazy for that. Like, this is a perfect example. You're in it for a long-term trade, but it was up 30% in a week. You gotta scrape that. You gotta take that. People think I'm nuts when I do that, but you see what you just wrote? Trim some profit and I'll buy back in. What's so wrong with that? Me? Now everyone has unlimited day trade. So no one gets to tell me, oh, well, you have unlimited day. Now everyone has it. Now everyone got it. No more negative thinking. That should have even had stopped you anyway. But now, guess what? Everyone has it, guys. Secure your gains. You can always buy back in. Always. Because there's nothing worse than, even on a long-term trade, guys. BATL, let's talk about that one. Long term, not even long, guys. It was like a month on that potential rocket play. And where did it go? From 2 to like 36. And we were trading in and out alongside IBRX. I kept on buying in the twos, selling at the 5, 6, pull back to the twos, sell at the 5, 6, pull back to the threes, sell at the 6, 7, pulls back to the fours. This is BATL. Okay, you know what? Let me buy something, sell partial, leave the rest. Guess what? Here comes the Iran and the US and their situation. What's the number one front runner to run? The BATL. Cook. But we were in and out of that so many times along the ride. Sold in the teens, pulled back, buy a little more. Wake up in pre-market, the thing just started flying. So I love that, Calivia. I think more traders need to get in that, because I cannot do roller coaster trading. I used to do it all the time. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Like you said, people confuse trading for invest in active trades and manage way different than investments. Yeah, like you think, let me tell you something. You think I'm watching Google the way that I would watch Cast? Google, I'll forget I even own it. I'm not even thinking about Google. Like, yeah, I'll still have stop losses. Don't get me wrong. I still have limits on those plays, but the stop losses on those things are like $100. Like that, it would have to tank for me to even get kicked out of things like that. But on the other plays that, it's not that other plays can't become blue chip stocks, but I'm not managing it the same way. Google is an investment to me, right? Tesla is an investment. SpaceX, when all the dust settles, eventually I'm going to go into my other account and say, okay, I need to get a position on SpaceX. I want it to go below 100. Okay, I need all the dust to clear. I need all the insiders to be free to see what they're going to do. All of it. When the dust settles and it's under 100 and it finds stability, I will put a long-term position in there. Okay, but not everything is just So just knowing the difference. Like Netflix, when it was cheap, investment. Like there was just certain things you just knew. Like, yeah, okay, this is long-term. Where's Amazon going? Nowhere. Google, nowhere. Microsoft, nowhere. Facebook, nowhere, because they go into different things outside of social media. There's just certain things that aren't going anywhere. Those are investment pieces, but not no G-puss. Still had 2-3 good trades, but I missed the last $2-3 one whenever it was. Don't feel I released the majority of cash shares at 190, picks them up at 105, but not enough. Right. There's nothing. Honestly, yeah, there's nothing we can do. Let it go. Just like Crestline is saying, it's all good. Because you don't want to mess up your mind. It's all good. Guys, I say this, there's always another one. There's always another one. I go back to June 8th, INHD, June 9th, PAVS, June 10th, DSY, June 11th, EDHL, June 12th, CUBR. All different stocks, all big boy runners. And they weren't the only runners, but they were the biggest runners, I guess, within that specific price range. So there's always going to be something for sure. And we don't know. All we can do is hindsight. All we can do is react. But Cast, I'm not going to lie to you. Cast was a multi-day runner, but it wasn't but it was still a nice multi-day runner. And then that pre-market, I don't know. I don't know, and I don't care. All I woke up and saw was Starlink, and I said, well, that's going to be the first thing I look to trade. That news came out around 3 a.m. or something like that. I said, yeah, that's the first thing I was looking at. I said, let me see what you do, because SpaceX is cooking. It wasn't even like a partnership. It was they're just integrating Starlink to, but I tell you, retail will read those headlines and they're gonna chase it down. All they hear is Elon Musk partnership, SpaceX with Cast. And that's all that they see. And that's perfectly fine by me. Let it cook. Ran to $15, pulled back, and then went to 16. But again, it didn't. Now also Cass also paid in after hours too. I know I got off camera, but I saw it come down. It did break the 760s, but found its legs at 745. So I was watching it. And I said, reclaim 760. Let me see what you do. And from that, it never broke it again. And I saw in after hours it ran to what, $11. If I'm not crazy, what was it, 10, $11 on Cass? I think Liz got some of it and but I would also urge you guys, you guys are my peers. And I'm not talking to just people in the chat. I'm just everyone, whoever's going to watch this for replay. Don't ever think something is too expensive. Like when you think that run is over because it's over, like I understand someone could see this move and just go, all right, it's done. It's not going to do anything. Nope. Look, gave you another one. Yeah, it wasn't as big as this, right? It wasn't freaking $5 to 16, but 7 to almost 11 is nice. And then you have it again, 7, well, not 11. It ran to, excuse me, it ran to 849. There's something else I'm thinking about. Something definitely pushed into 11. Not this, but still gave you a nice another quick dollar. But this is the thing though too, managing your expectations. People see this, right? And then when they start seeing this, they're like, uh-oh, it's doing it again. No. Look, reversal right here. It's time to go, right? And that's the thing. Sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of the times, inexperienced traders think the stock owes them that big move that it made earlier. Oh, it's going to do it again. Nope, time to run. Oh, it came down here again. Another nice scalp right here. Bang, bang. Comes back down here again. Another nice scalp. Bang, bang. But notice the scalps are smaller. $3 run, basically. What is this? Yeah, 350. Here's a $1.50. And here's another $1.50. But if you keep going, oh, it's going back up to 11. Okay. No, sir. It's actually going in the wrong direction. I want to see what Cass does on Monday too. That's going to be watched. That is going to be watched for sure. Matter of fact, where is the list? The last list. HUBC is gonna be a must watch as well. Hint, hint. It's gonna be a must watch just in case. And this is what I'll do, guys. I'll look at everything. I comb through everything. But with all of that being said, I will. I think I've given enough free data. But yeah, keep your eyes on HUBC just in case. But the potential rocket that I'm releasing is FTH. Members are going to be like, 3 hours? What kind of potential rocket? What's going on? You still up? Yeah, man, I'm still up. I already found my list of plays. So I just took a screenshot of them. Do a deeper dive. The down reversal on Cast, the bigger sale volume. The down reversal on Cast, the bigger sale volume. I read that like twice. Like, you heard how confused I was. Nah, I mean with Cast, here's the thing. I'll say this about Cast. Cast had an incredible move Thursday, so I expect on Monday, I do expect a move, right? I do expect a move. The question is how high, right? See, I have my lines here already in advance, right? So I'm watching that 715 level, right? Because that was one of the key support levels during market hours, 715 and 760, in my opinion. Those were the first two key levels. So 760 did hold for a little bit. That's why you see it's a gold line here. It did go down a little bit below it on the wick, but it came back up and held. Next candle, again, I'm on a 5-minute chart. I'll zoom in so you guys can see a little bit better, especially for those on a short video. Comes up here, holds support, goes up, makes that move, right? Comes back down, tests the gold again. Again, wicks below it, but a push back up, candle finishes above it. Next one here, next one here. Notice it's just holding, right? So key support level. Makes a move, 90 cents give or take, right? And then now comes back to test it. But this time, notice how many times it was bouncing off of this thing? Now, if this thing would have kept on holding, then I would have been like, okay, this is telling me and everyone that is paying attention to that is like, okay, 760 is solid. Like, and if it would have went back up in that direction, it would have never came back down, honestly, if I'm gonna be honest with you, because at this point, the shorts would have recognized 760 is not to be trifled with. The problem is at this time, this is after hours. Volume is going to dry up. We're getting closer to 8 p.m. We have a 3-day weekend coming up. The bulls that were in here, they're losing their confidence. They don't want to hold it overnight anymore, because I can assure you, if they just kept on doing this, everyone would be looking to hold, right? So it broke that key support level, but here it is now at the other, and I'm going to color this one gold as well. Right? Look at it. Bounce off, come up a little bit, come back down to test it, bounce off, come back a little bit. Now it tested it again right before the close. And then over here in market hours, you'll also see it come down to the 715 right here, and it holds it. So we'll see. I have some other key support levels too at 878 and stuff like that, but we'll see. I guess what I'll be looking for in pre-market on Monday, hold 715. If it can do that, maybe try and go back to claim 760. It's going to need volume. It's going to need a lot. Also going to need shorts to cover. Also, while we're on cast, let me look at something real quick. Let's see if their data updated. Short interest. Ooh. Okay, so here's. Damn, hold on. Let me verify this information. Hold on. I like it, and then I'm also like, and I'm gonna tell you where the comes from. Let me just verify. Okay. All right. So right now, first thing that I like is that there is 0 shares available to short, right? So that's going to be step one. The second thing that I like is that cost to borrow is ranging between 659.6% to 735.4%. So I'm loving that. That means it's expensive as hell to hold that. Okay. And if shorts, I don't know why the hell would you even want to hold that into the weekend. Maybe they feel it can tumble back down to the 5s and the 4s, maybe. I don't know. They're utilizing 90.8% of what's available to short, which I like. Days to cover is low at 0.12, meaning that they can cover literally in an hour if they wanted to, based on the volume. Now, so now I'm going to get to the. So again, days to cover is only 0.12 days, but again, it just started its move. Now, here's the other thing where I'm like, only the short interest is ranging from 0.91% to what's this, 6.2%. Let me go and look at the live short interest. Get out of my face. Yeah, there's none to borrow, 659.6%. Live interest, 6%. So now here's the thing. You don't always need short interest to be super high for a big move, but we want it to be high because that's basically telling me 6% of that free float is shorted, right? 6% of 16 million. But imagine if it's at 50% or 60% or 70%. I would say shorts are playing with the ultimate fire. They still kind of are. If there's enough bull pressure, new shorts can jump in if they want to. Although it says none to borrow, people will start to cover. People can take new short positions on there, but who's really going to want to pay 700% cost to borrow? You know, we'll see. I think it's worth watching because it was, I keep thinking Friday, but technically Thursday was sell off Fridays. I would say keep your eyes on it. I would like to see it hold 715. I would definitely like to see it hold 715. It might reverse split. why, why would it do that? What was that your sign? It was moving down on the chart you showed, that dip. If you're referring to cast, when you say dip, what do you mean? Like where I'm identifying the gold? This is a combination too of watching patterns and also watching the price action to where it keeps going to nonstop. So, when you have a whole day of data, you can kind of like start to, because look, even if you go back here, I know my chart looks crazy. That's how long I've been watching it. But look, that same 715, look at it. The minute it got up here, started holding, jumps up to 10, holding. Look, it just didn't break. Look, and then runs to 16. I mean, to 15, then to 16 eventually. So it's something that I've just been monitoring all day. Because again, I was up early in the morning, enjoying every bit of cast. So just an observation. That's why, 715 for me, that's a key price. 760 became key in market hours, in my opinion. Also, too, later trader, just know the drop there. What are you talking about? This drop, this thing right here, this. But also when you have a time to go and watch that custom trading strategy that I created for BTT members, when you see it, it's going to tell you. I literally designed it to tell you when something is switching to a downtrend, when the resistance is here, this is support, and as long as once you copy it, you adapt it. There's even on certain indicators, I tweak the settings in some of them as well, because I want it to be as accurate as possible in real time. So just watch it as many times as you need to, but watch it, copy it in real time, have it like on one screen and, have your chart on another, whichever device you trade on the most. And then just set it up and then practice. You don't even have to take a trade again, Part of the reason why my pricing is the way that it is because I want it to be easy access to everyone, but also no pressure. Remember, I told you guys when I was a rookie 10 years ago, I was paying a buttload just to be in part of these groups. And I felt so much pressure from that because I'm like, damn, I'm paying you 500 a month. I got to start winning, you know? And yes, $50 a month is not the same thing. I still want you guys to win, still have the energy, but there's no pressure if you miss a day of trading, right? That's $1.66 investment. Like that's not like I rather you spend that day, take that strategy, even if you have to paper trade, or if you are going to trade, just small quantities, so that way you can, you know, get a feel for it and master it. But it's going to be really easy to understand. I tried to make it as simple as possible. So the link is already pinned to the live chat comments. Pullbacks and dumps in real time during the trade. Yeah, I mean, listen, like we really don't know because here's the thing, right? Like what was that other ticker that was really nice? That same the CRVO. I know it's in here somewhere. Like this one was also, this was destined to take over for Cass. We also ate this play up, but look what happened. It didn't dump because it sucked. It dumped because the company did an offering. So it's not always you know, oh, it's a crap stock. Like it just news will drop out of nowhere. Hence why, you know, we, right, guys, I know I scream stop loss every day, but CRVO is another example. You don't protect yourself. I know we was riding this nicely. I know we was having a good old time, guys. I know we was making money in the killing. You sell up here, you buy this dip. Look, it's going right back up. But man, if you don't start sliding that stop loss up, slide your stop loss up. You can't be up 80% and your stop loss is still below your average. I've seen traders do that. Oh, it goes up, it comes all the way back down. Oh, I'm not worried. It didn't hit my stop loss yet. What? That's terrible. You just gave up $2 of profit because your stop loss. No. Oh, no, I want more than two. It's going to give me four. Yeah, maybe next year or maybe next month. Like, we don't know when these stocks are going to do these things. Like, we got to live in the moment, aka momentum, right? Live in the moment. So this was a beautiful, this in my opinion, had they not done that dumb offering, I'm going to tell you something, this could have easily pierced into double digits. The momentum that it had behind it, because you got to understand, this started at threes, pushed up here to sevens, started consolidating in the high 5-6 range. That could have easily pushed, as you can see here, made a new high, pulled back to key support level, consolidating, was going up, and then they hit us with an offering. And man, I mean, at that point, I think all members, we were already gone, and whoever was still in it had stop losses. I think maybe there was one person. I think someone was saying the thing ignored their stop loss. But I was like, geez. But yeah, man. But it's not that this was a bad stock. It was just his company raising money. I just wish the company would have did that in after hours. Like sometimes companies will wait for pre-market or after hours to drop news like that, but there's no law. I've seen them do this in the middle of the day, like VVPR. They did that too, way back then last year. Drop an offering in the middle of a trading session in the middle of the day, and then it just tanks. It was like a $4 offering, so that's why you see it stuck down here now for an eternity. But I'm sure when the offering closes, maybe a little recovery move to 5, and I'm being generous, guys, when I say 5. Maybe 450. Because one thing that I try to like share with my peers, and even on, you know, within our community here on BTT, I'm always like, guys, people, like traders, lose faith in the stocks. Like once it does this, that kills all confidence. The traders of this generation, guys, they move on very fast. That whole diamond hands, oh, hold it, it's gonna go back up. That is going to die out. Okay. Day traders run the market. I keep telling everyone that. Day traders run the market. Okay. The only thing safe from like people not holding is the big blue chips because they're not going anywhere. Shorts aren't going to try and short that. They're not doing any of that. But for the other companies that are below that, respectfully, I can't be mad at them. If I bought at 3, I'm selling at 7 too. Some people had 10,000 shares, 20,000 shares, 50,000 shares. Why the hell would they not sell? And I think that's another thing traders need to realize too. I think traders think everyone is doing what they're doing. A conservative trader, maybe they bought 300 shares here and they're up here and they're like, oh man, keep going. They're up $900 and they want more. Oh, why are you guys selling? That's stupid. It's too early. Well, that person that bought 10,000 shares is up $30,000, not 900. So respectfully, I'm collecting. As no one is going to tell me not to. I'm going to take my money, or I'm going to have a stop loss. So that's one thing too that I try to share with every retail trader. Don't assume everyone is doing what you're doing. Just because you bought 200 shares and people start dumping here, they might have 20,000 shares and they're done for the day. They're up 15,000 right here. They're done. They're up 20,000. They don't, what else? They don't need to stay for this. They can, if they want to buy another dip. I'm just telling you guys, I've seen it a million times over. So if you're wondering why everyone is dumping on you all the time, is they have big positions. They got to protect that, but this was an offering though, which was unfortunate. What time is it? It is now 1:12 in the morning. So I already have my plays. I'm going to work on this on downtime. BTT members, I'm going to see you guys tomorrow at 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 so we can go through our weekend recap, go over our plays over the week, go over through all the success, look for the opportunities, share stories with each other, your best moments, your lowest moments. Obviously, how can we improve on the green? And then how can we avoid the red, right? And of course, everyone takes losses, guys, but the goal is to minimize them, right? So we want to keep them small. So we'll discuss all of that. I'll share with you my list of next potential squeezes. So I have like 2 different things. There's like a potential rocket and there's a list of squeeze, and I'll explain the difference over the weekend. So I'll share that with you guys as well. And of course, as you guys know, you can join me right on stage as I'm on camera. I can have 9 other people with me up here at the same time. So we can really get into that dialogue, really share each other's experiences and get that conversation going. And most importantly, prepare for the following week. So we'll go through, again, I have over 200 tickers. I'm going to go through all of them. And I'm really going to probably put together a nice little list of, hey, what we're looking at going into this week. To see if there's a potential move back up for a lot of these stocks, which they probably will be. But as you guys know, during these live trading sessions, I always want what's new. I'm always looking for the next best thing. So, I look forward to seeing you guys on Saturday, AKA it is Saturday, 1 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. So I'll see all of you guys in approximately 12 hours. Okay. Let's lock in. Let's make sure we get some sleep, right? Again, I'll have those list of plays for you guys ready to go, and then we'll game plan for next week. And then if I don't see you guys on tomorrow's weekend recap, I will catch you guys on Monday. Again, Monday is no longer free for everyone. That day has been moved to Friday. Monday is a premium day in the market and has been given to shareholders. Okay, which are BTT members, and for those who hold the 10K celebration pass as well. Okay, with that being said, guys, I appreciate everyone. Thank you for your time, your energy. You guys have been wonderful. Let's go get some rest, And, you know, I'll see you guys again in 12 hours exact. Thank you for your time, everyone. If you haven't already, just hit that subscribe, like button for free educational videos, potential rocket videos when they become public. And of course, you know, for more, you know, opportunities. All right. Catch you guys on the flip side.